Hello,
Sir, good morning. Hello. Are we
good
audible?
morning. Yeah,
Thank you for joining.
thank you. Thank you for the invitation to join the session. It's pleasure to join this session on behalf of Dhruvi Shah, the CEO and head of the Axis Bank Foundation.
Uh, this
Thank
is
you, Dan.
this is the office of ICID, central office, headquarters is there. So we have with us DHAN Foundation family and a lot of farmers from different parts of the country. So we have a good gathering here, and
Yeah,
we have a India Water Partnership Executive Secretary also with us, Madam Veena Kanduri, and
hello, ma'am.
gathering. So shall we start now? Yes. I think it's 11 o'clock. So we can start and participants can join later on also. So first of all, I very warmly welcome all the participants who are joining this webinar. I am R.K. Gupta, Secretary General ICID. I welcome all of you in this webinar, which is on the occasion of World Water Day. In fact, World Water Day is on 22nd, but we are organizing today. And the theme of this webinar we have kept as a community-led water governance. And it's a very, very relevant theme in the sense that we all know and you will all agree that any water management program will not be sustainable unless there is a community participation. So this is a very, very important area in which we all have to work together. So I welcome now Ms. DHAN Foundation family, who is here, and we have a CEO, Mr. Venkatesan, yes. Mr. Venkatesan, and various officials of DHAN Foundations are here. And I welcome all the farmers who have come from different regions of the country, and they will share their experience about community-led participation, which led to overall development uh, of the sector, and of course, farmers and the country, of course. Uh, I also welcome all the partners and supporting partners, institutions like Axis Bank, Wellington, and others who are supporting the DHAN Foundation movement and in different ways, not only financial, but morally and other physically also, which is leading to the success of these watershed movement and watershed programs, leading to a successful case studies. As ICID, our mission is always to have a water and food secure world. And in this direction, we are always working together with the different partners. And we are very happy that DHAN Foundation is with us today. And we would like to have more partnership with DHAN Foundation in different ways so that we can work together at ground level. And we will be very happy if we can support in different ways, especially technically, to solve many issues, challenges in this sector. So yesterday I was watching a small film of DHAN Foundation, a small video film I was watching, in which tank regeneration was carried out with the community participation, and which led to a good movement. So I will request the DHAN Foundation to run this film again before I give this floor to DHAN Foundation in future. Can we have the film?
We are unable to hear video. Sorry, we are unable to hear the audio. Venkatesan.
Yes, sir.
No audio coming.
Oh, no audio is coming.
Okay. We will check the connections again.
We have connection. Wait.
इसको ऑफ तो नहीं करना
Stay off हो गया. Question. Yes. Display off.
Can you hear?
Ask.
Can you hear the audio? Can you hear the film now?
No. We can hear you clearly, but not able to hear the film.
Can you hear, sir?
He's saying he can hear him, but
Not the film.
Yeah, I can hear you all, but not the film.
Okay.
वो तुमको सुन रहा है क्योंकि ये माइक से सुन रहा है इसका माइक चेंज करना होगा वीडियो का तुम्हारा स्पीकिंग वाला माइक से कनेक्टेड है
Okay.
इसको
Something you have to
सेम है सिस्टम करो सबसे ऊपर सिलेक्ट करना सबसे ऊपर से
Is elixir of life. Access to water is imperative for public health, whether it is used for drinking,
Increase the volume.
food production, or
We can hear now.
water is indeed a significant key to sustainable development. Access to reliable irrigation can enable farmers to adopt
So you can hear, sir?
technologies leading to increased production. And
Yes, now. Need to increase the volume.
the footprints of water partnership between DHAN and Axis Bank Foundation in Tambar Kottakariyar Basin is one of the legends for livelihood security through water conservation. Tambar Kottakariyar River Basin is one of the 17 basins in Tamil Nadu, and it originates near hills surrounded by Nathan and Samarpalli blocks of Dindigul districts and drains through the portion of Madurai, Dindugal, Shivagangai, Pudukkottai, and Ramanathapuram districts, covering 21 blocks, and finally drains at Bay of Bengal near Thundi of East Coast. There are 3-meter sub-basins in Pamba Kottakariyar Basin based on the ephemeral streams called Thirumanimudal, Kottakariyar, and Pamba. Total area of the basin is 5,867 square kilometer. The mean annual rainfall is 875 millimeter, and the entire basin falls in drought-prone tract, and it has thousands of tanks and pumps. There are no perennial sources of water, either for agriculture or for drinking water. In 2010, DHAN and Axis Bank Foundation came together with the plan of ensuring livelihood security for the families in Pambar Kottakariyar Basin and coined the project called DHAN. The phase 1 has covered 27,113 families from April 2011 to March 2017. For fish pond have been renovated to the tune of rupees
Hello.
6 crores with a community contribution of rupees 3.12 crores and Axis Bank contribution of rupees 11.24 crores.
இந்த ஊரணி 3 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி ரொம்ப செடிகள்லாம் மண்டி தாமரை எல்லாம் அதிகமா இருந்து சேறு மாதிரி இருந்தது. அதுதான் நாங்க குடிநீராக பயன்படுத்திட்டு வந்தோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் ரொம்ப தண்ணி மழை இல்லாதனால வறட்சின்றோம்.
सर अभी नेट गया था ना, नेट डिस्कनेक्ट हुआ, पैसा भी चला गया था सिटिंग।
Is elixir of life. Access to water is imperative for public health, whether it is used for drinking, domestic use, food production, or recreational purposes. Water is indeed a significant key to sustainable development. Access to reliable irrigation can enable farmers to adopt new technologies, leading to increased productivity and greater returns from farming. The footprints of water partnership between DHAN and Axis Bank Foundation in Pambar Kottakariyar Basin is one of the legends for livelihood security through water conservation. Pambar Kottakariyar River Basin is one of the 17 basins in Tamil Nadu, and it originates near hills surrounded by Nathan and Samarpatti blocks of Dindugal districts and drains through the portion of Madurai, Dindugal, Shivagangai, Pudukkottai, and Ramanathapuram districts, covering 21 blocks, and finally drains at Bay of Bengal near Thundi of East Coast. There are 3-meter sub-basins in Pamba Kottakariyar Basin based on the ephemeral streams called Thirumanimudal, Kottakariyar, and Pamba. Total area of the basin is 5,867 square kilometer. The mean annual rainfall is 875 millimeter, and the entire basin falls in drought-prone tract, and it has thousands of tanks and ponds. There are no perennial sources of water, either for agriculture or for drinking water. In 2010, DHAN and Axis Bank Foundation came together with the plan of ensuring livelihood security for the families in Pambar Kottakariyar Basin and coined the project called DHAN. The phase 1 has covered 27,113 families from April 2011 to March 2017 in 5 blocks, namely Nathan, Kottampatti, Espudur, Polamaravati and Singampunari across 4 districts, namely Dindigul, Madurai, Pudukkottai, and Shivagangai. As part of the first phase, 520 tanks, 140 village ponds, and 93 tanks for fish pond have been renovated to the tune of rupees 14.36 crores with a community contribution of rupees 3.12 crores and Axis Bank contribution of rupees 11.24 crores.
இந்த ஊர் 3 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி ரொம்ப செடியெல்லாம் மண்டி தாமரை இலையெல்லாம் அதிகமாக இருந்து சேறு மாதிரி இருந்தது. அதுதான் நாங்கள் குடிநீராக பயன்படுத்திகிட்டே வந்தோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் ரொம்ப தண்ணி மழை இல்லாதனால வறட்சியில் ரொம்ப ஆயிடுச்சு, தண்ணியும் உள்ளே போயிடுச்சு. அந்த நேரத்தில் எங்களுக்கு ஆக்சிஸ் வங்கி அறக்கட்டளை மூலமாக நாங்கள் மூவ் பண்ணி எங்கள் பங்கு தொகையாக 40,000 ரூபா கொடுத்தோம். அவங்களுடைய பங்கு தொகையாக 3 பங்கு கொடுத்து எங்களுக்கு இந்த வேலையை பண்ணி கொடுத்தாங்க. தூர்வாரினாங்க. தூர்வாரினதுலேருந்து இந்த தண்ணி இவ்வளோ தான் இருக்குது, வத்தவே இல்லை. ஊற்றும் ஊற ஆரம்பிச்சிருச்சு. அதோட எங்களுக்கு தண்ணியும் சுத்தமாக இருக்குது, நல்லபடியாக பயன்படுத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். எங்களுக்கு இந்த ஊரை பொறுத்தளவில் 13 கிராமம் பயன்படுத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
இதற்கு முன்னால இந்த கம்மாயில இங்க இருந்து போடப்பட்டிருக்கிற கரை ஒரு சின்ன கரையா மட்டும்தான் இருந்துச்சு. அதுல பயன்படக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு தான் இருந்துச்சு. நம்ம தான மரக்கட்டளை ஆட்சி சங்கின் மூலமாக பங்கு தொகை செலுத்தப்பட்டு விவசாயிகள் எல்லாம் சொன்னதை வச்சு நம்ம இதுல கரையை படுத்திருக்கோம். காங்கிரீட்டினுடைய மடை ஒண்ணு செஞ்சிருக்கோம். முதல்ல மடை இதுல சுத்தமா கிடையாது. மடை இல்லாதனால இப்ப காங்கிரீட் மடை போட்டிருக்கோம். அப்ப கரையும் கட்டிருக்கோம். இப்ப வண்டி போற அளவுக்கு நல்லா நீட்டா செஞ்சிருக்கிறது நம்ம தான மரக்கட்டளையும் ஆக்சிஸ் வங்கியும் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
With the great partnership experience in Phase 1, Dhana has entered Phase 2 for 5 years from 2017. The Phase 2 envisaged to expand the project activities into 8 more blocks, namely Tirupatur, Kalal, Sakkottai, Devakottai, Shivagangai, Kalayar Koyal, Tiruvadhanai, Tirumayam, aiming to cover 70,000 families belonging to 810 tanks.
இந்த குளத்துல அவிக்குளத்துல நல்ல போதிய தண்ணி கிடைச்சிச்சு. கம்மா வெட்டினதுனால தண்ணி கிடைச்சி விவசாயத்தை பண்ணணும். விவசாயம் பண்ணி மறுபடியும் கேப்பை நட்டு கேப்பை நல்லா எடுத்தோம். கேப்பை நட்டு எடுத்துட்டு மறுபடியும் கடலை போடுறதுக்கு உழுகும். அப்புறம் மழை கொஞ்சம் இதாக இருந்ததுன்னா நாங்கள் கடலை போடல, 2 போத்தோட முடிச்சிட்டோம். இந்த வருஷமும் நாங்கள் கடலையும் போடுறதுக்கு ரெடியாக இருக்கிறோம், கேப்பை நடுறதுக்கு ரெடியாக இருக்கிறோம். இந்த அறுவடை முடிச்சோடனே எங்களுக்கு நல்லா பற்றாக்குறை இல்லாத இந்த அவிக்குளம் கம்மா வெட்டினது நல்லா இருக்குது.
Livelihood security is the key focus area of Phase 2, which envisages agricultural development through conservation of water bodies, credit support through SAGs, rain-fed farming, promoting farmers, producer companies, and livelihood literacy through community radio. An increase in income from rupees 57,000 per hectare to rupees 1,70,000 per hectare per farmer is envisaged in Phase 2. 8,185 landless families will get credit support for livestock development and also to establish non-farm livelihoods.
2005 திட்டானிக்கருப்பர் குறுநிதி குழு உருவாக்கப்பட்டு அதில் உறுப்பினராகவும் பொருளாளராகவும் இருந்து செயல்பட்டு வருகிறேன். அதில் மாதந்தோறும் 13ஆம் தேதி அந்த குறுநிதி குழுவின் கூட்டம் நடைபெறும். உறுப்பினர்கள் 16 பேர் இருக்கா. அவங்க எல்லாரும் அதில் கலந்துக்கிட்டு அதில் சேமிப்பு தொகைகளை அவங்களுக்கு தேவையான குறுநிதி கடன்களாக வழங்கப்பட்டு வருகிறது. எங்களுக்கு சேமிப்பு தொகையாக மாதந்தோறும் 200 ரூபா போட்டு செலுத்தி வருகிறோம். இது ஒவ்வொரு ஆளுகளுக்கு ஒரு 10,000 வரையும் சேமிப்பு தொகை இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். வட்டார கூட்டமைப்பின் உதவியோட எனக்கு நிதி உதவி தேவைப்பட்டு தோப்பு பராமரிப்புக்காக அணுகினேன். அவங்க ஆக்சிஸ் வங்கி சுழல் நிதி கடனாக 30,000 எனக்கு வழங்கினாங்க. அதை வச்சு நான் தோப்புகள் பராமரிப்பும் உழவு செஞ்சு குப்பை அடிச்சு இப்போ தோப்பு நல்ல முறையில் பராமரித்து வருகிறேன். இப்போ மரங்கள்லாம் நல்லா இருக்கு. எனக்கு நல்ல ஈல்டு கிடைக்குது. இது மேலும் அதனுடைய நிதியை கொஞ்சம் வச்சு செம்மறி ஆடு வாங்கி வளர்த்து வருகிறேன். அதனால என்னுடைய வாழ்வாதாரம் நல்ல முறையில் இருக்கு. பொருளாதாரத்தில் நான் நல்ல முறையில் இருந்து வர்றேன்.
Job card facility to avail benefit from Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program is focused. It is proposed to increase the income for a landless family from rupees 47,000 to rupees 72,000. 610 self-help groups were promoted, covering 9,934 families. An amount of rupees 7.72 crores of internal savings and rupees 12.20 crores of bank linkages was mobilized to stabilize agriculture and also to create additional livelihoods amidst a revolving fund support by Axis Bank Foundation to the tune of rupees 1.39 crores to 999 families. With all these experiences, the phase 2 of Dhana is marching ahead, aiming to graduate a wide range of poor families from poverty to prosperity.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry that in the beginnings some hiccups were there, so we couldn't show the film properly. Sometimes latest technology creates problems.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's always an experience.
So now I will hand over the floor to our DHAN Foundation friends, Mr. Lokesh and NT Larasi for program further. Center and Lokesh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Secretary. This one. Please. Sir, I hope I'm audible now, sir. Sorry. Yeah, okay. So thank you, Secretary General of ICID, Dr. Gupta ji. Thanks for his kindful remarks of welcoming all the people. So with this introduction, we will go further on the next slot. Most of us know that corporate social responsibility plays a vital role on safeguarding the water governance in the country, and they are very much keen on creating models in the country. So with that remark, I just like to introduce Mr. Harshavardhan, Vice President and Program Lead of Axis Bank Foundation. With a small brief, I'd like Ilavarasan to explain his profile. Yeah.
Mr. Harshavardhan Dhawan is a development sector professional with over 25 years of experience in sustainable development, rural livelihoods, and water resource management. He currently serves as the program lead at the Axis Bank Foundation. His professional background is Axis Bank Foundation, and now currently he is the program lead. He guides sustainable landscape management initiatives and fosters stakeholder partnership to scale philanthropic program. Now I may call upon Mr. Harshavardhan Dhawan to deliver the special address.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Taji. Good morning, Dan, Venkatesan, and good to see all of the colleagues and farmers over there. I think it's the community that kind of helps us, motivates us, and then kind of helps to kind of do the good kind of work. I, on behalf of Ms. Dhruvi Shah, who's the head and executive director of Axis Bank Foundation, am participating as a representative of Axis Bank Foundation. I'll shortly speak about the brief of Axis Bank Foundation and then well upon the water governance part where we have been contributing. Axis Bank Foundation, as you all know, has been set up in 2005. The then leadership thought of contributing back to the society. So much before the CSR law, almost 10 years before the CSR law, Axis Bank leadership then thought of kind of setting up this institution, which can... Are you all able to hear me?
Yes.
Sir.
Yeah. So we started to kind of dwell upon various works, and then in 2009 we deep dived and looked at the challenges that the country faces. And We looked at the rural development as a really important part that plays where the country, 70% of the country is dependent on rural agrarian economy, and the rural villages do face these challenges. And as like our father of our nation has mentioned, to kind of start from the villages, we looked at how we can kind of reinvigorate, revitalize, and re-challenge the scenarios that exist in the rural economies, and how we can work on the sustainable livelihoods of the communities that reside in this location. So that's where the sustainable livelihoods programs roots took shape. And we started with a mission 1 million in 2011. We completed that in 2018. By mission 1 million, working with 1 million households to kind of bring work with them on sustainable livelihoods, combination of watershed, agriculture, agri-allied activities, enterprises, and ultimately leading to the institutions that these communities can manage on themselves. So thereafter, we took mission 2 million, leading after the successful completion of mission 1 million, which we completed last year in March 2025. And now we have embarked on a mission 4 million, whereby the country of this size, we understand that the numbers as such will help to showcase the various programs, the initiatives that we all together. And in this, when I say as mission 1 million, it has been done possible with the partnerships like DHAN government, various state level partnerships with Chhattisgarh government or Jharkhand government, West Bengal government of Maharashtra, and at central level with the NRLM and various SRLM missions. So across wherever Axis Bank Foundation has worked, it has worked with in a partnership mode, considering all, including the community as one of the partners and stakeholders in this program. Because ultimately, it is without the ownership of all, collective ownership of various stakeholders, including other donors and various other entities, like-minded entities, which can contribute in this scenario. We believe this as one of our catalytic support, which can enable the various work on sustainable livelihood across the country, and thereby also look at the water governance, which forms the central and core part of the work that we do at our sustainable livelihoods program. Anything that has to do on livelihoods or rural economy, I think central part comes is the water, how we can manage the water, how we can kind of develop and reorganize the various ways in which the water utilization is being done. Having worked myself for last 25-30 years in the developmental space, I'll just dwell upon the water governance part. I think the time for water governance is very apt and very right now, I think, because increasingly with the per capita change in water availability, in 1950s, we had more than 1,500 plus liters per capita available, the rainfall available for the per capita per country. But increasingly, as we have moved towards the latest century, it's declined to 1,200 millimeters. So now, I think with that kind of scenario, there are multiple factors which have contributed to this. But I think with the kind of participatory approaches, with the watershed, spring shed, and various water-related governance institutions, whether it's participatory irrigation management, whether it's participatory groundwater management, various other initiatives done by various entities, I think all carry the common theme of all collective stakeholders need to come together and work along with the community to kind of manage these resources. On one side, we have the supply side mechanisms, which is the rainfall. On the other side, which is important to kind of look at, is the demand side management of the resource. I think without the demand side management, whether it's the utilization for agriculture, drinking water, and ecosystem needs, we will be unable to kind of look at a water secure scenario. So if we have to build a water secure future, I think water secure future, by what I mean is transitioning from the current deficit, water stress, water scarcity, drought scenario to a water secure scenario, where we are kind of transitioning the water governance into the generation. It's an intergenerational security program that we are together, whereby water security can be managed by various institutions and the next stakeholders that are in line. And in this process, I believe all of us need to contribute in the whatever smaller bits to the largest bits that we can kind of look into, and how we can kind of work upon on the various aspects and impacts that the water portfolio has on the landscapes. So as Axis Bank Foundation with the collective initiatives of DHAN, where we have been working with DHAN for in phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right now, I think Venkatesan must have briefed about the phase 4, where we are working in 3 states across 3 basins and kind of looking at the water governance and livelihood scenario. And similar 50 odd partners, we are working across 32 odd states in around 15,000 odd villages, with currently the reach is 2.5 million. And we are hoping that we will be able to complete the mission 4 million by 2030, whereby it's just a initiative that showcases that such kind of sustainable livelihoods, water security, rural development is possible, and it can be taken up by the communities. It can be taken up by the various institutions that are mandated by the government, which is the Panchayat Raj institutions and the village water health and sanitation committees. And looking at this approach of water governance from not just from the demand supply side, also from the water quality side, also from the access side, also from the efficiency side, also from the various entitlements, various aspects that are linked to the water governance part of it. So coming to the important point of groundwater, we are seeing the groundwater decline in various parts. I think again, here the understanding of aquifers, understanding about the spring shades, understanding of the subterranean hydrogeology is something that is important, and how these aquifers, how these natural resources can be managed better through demystification of knowledge, through demystification of science. Having been a trainer, having been a resource person, conducted several trainings and facilitated many water security plans and DPRs and implementation on ground. Having seen all the sides of the spectrum, I believe that we as collective people together, if we want to bring about that desired change, I think then the right approach would be to kind of demystify the science, bring about the traditional knowledge in harmony with the scientific aspects, bring about the technological aspects, and kind of combine with the various government program schemes, and collectively as stakeholders, how we can kind of look at these institutions to be flourishing together and prospering towards a better village, onwards to a better block, to a district, and towards a state, and then to a country. I think that's where I think the vision of the larger leaders, and as a country whole, we can kind of showcase that water security, despite the diversity, despite the agroclimatic diversity, despite the agro-lithological diversity, despite the language diversity. I think one thing that will definitely unite us is the sustainable livelihood, sustainable water governance across the country. And if India can show that water governance across the various zones is possible in a certain way, then I think the larger globally scenarios on the irrigation front, on the water security front, all these can be kind of managed in a better way. With these initial thoughts, I think I would like to kind of share that as Axis Bank Foundation, we are one of the small catalysts in this whole journey, and we are here to support, work along with the various institutions, and collaborate with the like-minded organizations to facilitate any work on water governance, any work on sustainable livelihoods. And with DHAN Foundation, I think it's an important organization to kind of partner with the kind of like-minded approach, the work that we do from bottom up, top down, and combining with various stakeholders. I think it's an important initiative to look into, to dwell upon, and to kind of collaborate and work upon across the length and breadth of the work that we do across the villages, project villages. So thank you very much, International Council for Irrigation Development, for having us today, for hosting this workshop, important workshop. And I think it's the right time to kind of look at such kind of initiatives and support them across so that we can kind of further the cause of water governance, further the cause of livelihood security, further the cause of village prosperity, and as a development of the nation, as a development of the humanity and the mankind and entire ecosystem. I think we are one part of the larger global ecosystem. How we can kind of contribute to it will demonstrate the way forward. With that, I would like to thank again ICID and DHAN Foundation and my colleagues, farmers, all of them together who are participating over here, and those who are online. Would like to thank you all for listening to the kind words and the time that you have given to me to share about the Axis Bank Foundation. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Harshvardhan sir. Yeah, it's a great lead start for us on the session, sir. So now we are moving forward for the technical session 1. So this session having a theme of community-led water conservation, experience, lesson, and way forward. So that is our next session. So without having any delay, now I'd like to welcome Mr. V. Venkatesan, Chief Executive, DHAN Vayalagam Foundation, Madurai, on delivering community-driven institutional framework for conservation of traditional water resources, which is experience, lesson, and way forward.
Mr. V. Venkatesan is a leading practitioner in community-based water governance and the chief executive of DHAN Vayalagam Foundation in India. With 2.5 decades of extensive grassroots experience, he has been instrumental in designing and scaling participatory models for the conservation and the management of traditional tank irrigation systems across multiple states. Now I may call upon Mr. V. Venkatesan to deliver the presentation.
Yeah. Good morning.
One minute.
Yes, sir. The PowerPoint is coming on. Okay. So thanks, Lokesh and Sindhalarasi, for your introduction. So I would like to briefly share about the experiences and lessons from the community-driven institutional framework for conservation of traditional water commons, basically the experiences of DHAN Foundation, experiences, lessons, and a few leads for way forward. And consecutive to my presentation, our farmers are here, leaders are here. So they will just connect their success stories with the points, whatever I'm going to mention as part of the institutional framework. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So these presentations covers the need for community-led water governance, why we should work on these traditional water bodies. In fact, the irrigation tanks and the traditional water commons were created by our ancestors many more years back. And indeed, they had a practice of regular maintenance of those water bodies. And the literature says that from every home, they go to the water bodies and then they do repair works at weekly intervals. They call it as a Kudi Maramat. And over a period of time, all the tanks, most of the water bodies have got encroached because this collective responsibility, collective management practices has come down. So because of that heavy encroachment and because of this coverage of this invasive species and heavy siltation have brought down the original capacity of the tank. So obviously the small and marginal farmers are depending upon the tank-fed agriculture and their tanks alone. So once the water storage capacity has come down, they are bound to migrate from agriculture. That was the kind of scenario. So that is why the need for community-led water governance is being enforced here. And in fact, it requires kind of strong community-led community institutions at the ground level, so that will create peer pressure among the community and which will facilitate the earlier practice, to bring back the earlier practice. In fact, all grassroots community have the gene, the trait of taking care of their own water bodies. It is there. So now we have to bring it, now we have to trigger it, not by genetic engineering, by the social architects. That will happen only through these community-led institutions. So that is how this is being emphasized. Next slide, please. To share a few words about DHAN Foundation. DHAN Foundation, called as Development of Human Action, is a pan-India organization. We have our presence in 16 states. And the institution operates with Gandhian principles and driven by the philosophy of giving back to the society. And we have our presence in 16 states and covering serving around 5 million poor families. So their mode of service is not by delivery, but by enabling. So here the small and marginal farming families, poor women, through different programs, they are getting connected in a format of institutions. and through their own self-help, through the community banking and other formats, so they come out of poverty on their own by connecting with the different stakeholders. That is how the facilitation is being made. Next slide, please. And to say about the structure of Dawn Collective, here the community is the core. So around which all the verticals of Dawn Foundation and partnership and network, everything is being built. So that the vision and the wisdom of the community is being considered and then being learned by a lot of the people who are traveling here. And it is built, all these interventions and thematic areas are built around that. Next, yeah. So this slide speaks about the models, the institutional framework in community-led water governance. The two pictures are there. The first one speaks about how different layers of community-led institutions are being built. First, at the village level, the Vayalagam Water Association. Vayalagam is basically nomenclature, the brand name of the program, and it speaks about the farmland, and they should feel it as a home, and they should work on that. That is what the inbuilt meaning in that. The Vayalagam Water Resource Association are built at the village level. This particular institution comprises the entire village community, and it takes care of renovation and restoration of water bodies which are in the village. And next to that, there is a cascade association. These tanks are situated in such a way that the surplus of one tank goes as a source for the next tank. That is how the hydrology is connected. So obviously, there is a problem of water sharing, equitable water, like riparian rights. So basically, the upper tank Ayakat thus will be drawing more water and may not be available for the lowest, the tail end. So now this cascade association will take care of equitable distribution of water. So that was the role of this cascade association. And next to that, the sub-basin association, basin association comes. So here, basin and river basin, what we mean is like ephemeral river basins, not the perennial river basins. In fact, these ephemeral river basins, it comes on when the monsoon comes and it dries up. So that is how it operates. So basically, making this sub-basin and the river basin as a green river, that is the concept here. So this basin level association, sub-basin level association, they do policy advocacy. They bring a lot of the partners who belongs to the respective country, including the government, banks, and other people, to work on the respective river basins. So that is how the entire fraternity of small and marginal farming families belongs to the respective basin. They work together and they build their own layer of water association. They work for their own things. Alongside, there is another set of vertical institutions that are being built at the block level. So the block level, in the sense, around 4,000 to 5,000 families who are part of water association at village level, they promote the federation at the block level. And being a mother federations, they have their own vertical. Like one vertical is working on insurance for all the small and marginal farmers, insurance for agriculture, insurance for the livestock, insurance for health, everything comes. And second one is they have their own Sukam in the sense basically to work on their health. So that particular vertical serves on the health part. Then they have FPOs, they call it as a Jeevitam, and through which all are getting connected with the marketing facilities and product investments. That way, in one go, the farmers, each member of water associations, not only water, the water brings all prosperity, all domains of multiplier effect to the respective families. They get access to the education, they get access to the health, they get access to the livelihoods, everything comes. So this is how the community framework of things are operating at a different level. Next one. And this one speaks about the approaches, how it operates. So the DVTF, in fact, promotes the community organizations, as I said in the beginning, at village level as a water association, comprising of small and marginal farming families. So when they take up any kind of work, restoration process, the plan is first built by the community. They know what they want. And it is not that something is pressurized on them and it is dictated. So they draw their plan of this is what is expected out of this restoration process. They planned it and they start investing on that. For example, if any tank rentals requires a lakh of rupees, they'll be contributing around 10 to 20% in different format, like a cash they contribute based on the extent of your acreage, what they have as part of irrigated land, and also the kind. So that way they meet it out. So since they are paying from their pocket and the ownership is being built and they take care of their own water bodies on long run. And here the entire restoration work is being maintained and then managed and monitored by the community. So once they are part of this water association, they could go through the systematic training of things. Like in DHAN, we have a robust training center, like one is DHAN People Academy, which takes care of training of all the leaders, all the committee members, they go through this training of technical as well as social aspect. So they know when the work is currently going on, they can know, they will be able to say, is it running in effective way? Is it running in loss or gain? So that way they will be able to calculate and then they will be saying. So that way the monitored by the community and they will be able to supervise. This is what happening. Once the work is over, restoration work is over, they start working on the regular maintenance of those water bodies. So they start creating corpus and the endowment fund for the water associations. To say one example, near Madurai, around 50 kilometers away from Madurai, there is a tank. They got around 5,000 rupees 25 years back from Kapat to raise the tamarind trees all along the bund. The bund runs for around 500 to 600 meters and they raised tamarind trees. And they got an agreement with the local panchayat system. So over the period of time, they mobilized through the sale of the tamarind, and again they have gone for some other vegetable growing on the bund. Now they have 5 lakhs in their tank association as a fixed deposit. So whatever the interest generated out of that amount, they go for regular repair works, regular maintenance works. So this is what the objective here. The philosophy here is they should not depend on any other external sources over the period of time, and they should generate on their own. So that is how this approach is being operated. Next one. And to say a few words about the achievements, what has happened so far. So far, 7,000 plus Vayalagam associates have been promoted, and through which a wide range of restoration processes have been happened. Like 7,000 water bodies across different parts of the country, like including Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Pondicherry. So this many tank works have been done, and around 10,000 farm ponds work has been done, which covers around 4.5 millions of poor families, especially small and marginal farming families have got access to the irrigation for their irrigation as well as for domestic purpose. So nearly about 20 million US dollar of investment has been made so far for the past 25 years, in which around 3 million US dollars have been spent by the community on their own as cash and kind. And they are still continuing the regular repair works on their own. Next one. And ultimately, when we speak about the lessons and the way forward, so what exactly we got out of this experience of these 25 years on community governance, so there are some significant things which you have learned. So one is, so when the strong community institutions is there at the ground level, it brings the holistic development. The water brings everything. And the community are able to grow faster. For example, if you take, I was saying that around 4,70,000 families, around 4.7 million of farmers are associated with this, in which around 1.3 million families have self-declared that they come out of poverty. But it doesn't happen in a day. Around 8 to 10 years of journey with this program through this community-led governance and then institutional framework. So they came out of poverty now. They make a self-declaration. It happens on every foundation, they have done foundation, which falls on October 2nd. That is one of the things. So that way, it brings a holistic development for the families, and it also brings a multiplier effect. So usually when the proposition of partnership with any institutions, we have around shell pressure of minimum 1:3 to 1:5. It has to generate multiple effect. And then it should mobilize such a kind of investment from the banks, and leverages has to be there. So that is how the internal proposition is being built. And second one, it also creates a lot of scope for co-creation, wherein, in fact, the CSR is getting identified by the basin. When you talk about Axis Bank Foundation, Mr. Vijay Aswathan was saying, like the Pambar basin itself is getting identified by the Axis Bank Foundation. Now it has been expanded to other basins like Gunda River Basin, Badua River Basin, Kiul River Basin, that is coming. That way, a kind of lot of scope is available as a co-creation, wherein we grow together. And the things are getting advanced to the next level. And another one is, the lesson is, saturation is very well possible when the community-led institution and is very well available over there, which means in one go, we'll be able to saturate the entire community. It will not take much time, because this multiplier effect as well as the wave effect, whatever is being generated out of a particular partnership, that grows very fast. And it brings a lot of the sprouts, a lot of vibrant leaders out of this community, and they take care of this. That is how the movement of Vayalagam has come. That way the saturation also very well possible here. And blending the traditional knowledge and technology things, both when it operates together, the new social order emerges. That makes the growth and development very fast. And ultimately, the kind of transformation in agriculture is very well happens. The farmers are becoming very resilient, and they go for alternative cropping, and they are able to cope up with the climate change, whatever is threatening them as part of the local context. So that they are becoming very resilient. These are the lessons, and we would like to replicate across different contexts. And the last one is the last slide. Next one. So now this Vayalagam Mutual Movement is a fraternity of the entire water association, which is comprising of small and marginal farmers of nearly 5 million. So now they have gone into the Silver Jubilee celebration. This Vayalagam Mutual Movement was launched in 2002 by Shri Batma Bhushan Anna Azare at Tammukam, Madurai. Now with a long journey of 25 years. In fact, we had our Silver Jubilee celebration on March 7th recently, 2026. And this is going to be a lot of celebrations. Celebration, not only celebrating the event alone, joining hands with the new partners and taking up new advancement, making a move in different avenues, and making the families to come out of poverty at the earliest possible. So that is how this proposition, as well as the milestone, has been set as part of Silver Jubilee. And we welcome and we invite all the good hearts to join with us to make our services available for the larger community. I stop here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. So you clearly captured about the need for the community lead, which is with the framework approach, and even you mentioned like what is a way forward also. Thank you, sir. It's well captured, and it's a well lead for the session, sir. Now we are moving to the very interesting part of the session. The session is we are going to listen the experience from the farmers. So as a first case, I like to introduce Mr. Durairaj, President, Vayalagam Mutual Movement, Tamil Nadu. He's going to talk about the success story of Vayalagam DHAN Foundation, showing the community-driven encroachment eviction in the traditional water bodies.
Mr. Durairaj transformed his grassroots administrative experience into a powerful force for collective action through the Vayalagam Mutual Movement. Now, I request Mr. Durairaj to share his experience.
इसकी वीडियो ये चाहिए ना
அனைவருக்கும் காலை வயலக வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். வணக்கம். என்னுடைய பெயர் வி. துரைராஜ். என்னுடைய ஊர் நல்லதரை என்ற கிராமம். நல்லதரை கிராமத்தில் கிராம நிர்வாக தலாரியாக ஒரு 30 ஆண்டு காலம் அரசாங்கத்தில் பணியாற்றி வந்திருக்கிறேன். என்னுடைய வயது இப்பொழுது 77 ஆகிறது. நான் எனது வட்டாரம் நரிக்குடி. எனது மாவட்டம் விருதுநகர் மாவட்டம். நான் இப்பொழுது தானும் அறக்கட்டளை தொண்டு நிறுவனத்தின் வயலக பரஸ்பர இயக்கத்தின் தலைவராக பணியாற்றி வருகிறேன். ராமநாதபுரம் மாவட்டத்தில் உள்ள முதல்தூர் வட்டாரத்தில் மேலக்கொடுமனூர் என்ற கிராமம் உள்ளது. அந்த கிராமத்தில் மொத்தம் 200 குடும்பங்கள் வாழ்கிறார்கள். அந்த 200 குடும்பங்களில் 120 குடும்பங்கள் விவசாயிகளாக வாழ்கிறார்கள். அந்த மேலக்கொடுமனூர் கண்மாயினுடைய நீர்நிலையில் அந்த வயலினுடைய மொத்த பரப்பு 150 ஏக்கர். அது அந்த கண்மாய்க்கு வரலையாறு என்ற ஆற்றிலிருந்து 3 கிலோமீட்டர் நீளத்திலே ஒரு வரத்து கால்வாய் 15 மீட்டர் அகலத்திலே இருந்திருக்கிறது. அதன் வாயிலாக அந்த கிராமத்திற்கு அப்போ ஒரு பல வருடங்களுக்கு முன்பாக தண்ணீர் அந்த கிராம மக்கள் இருபோக நஞ்சை விவசாயம் செய்து நல்ல முறையிலே வாழ்க்கையை நடத்தி வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். அது இப்ப தற்சமயம் ஒரு சில ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்னதாக ஆக்கிரமிப்புகள் அந்த கால்வாயிலே ஏற்பட்டு அந்த 3 கிலோமீட்டர் நீளமுள்ள அந்த கால்வாய் 15 மீட்டர் அகலமுள்ள அந்த கால்வாய் 4 மீட்டர் அகலமுள்ள கால்வாயாக இப்போ மாறிவிட்டது. ஏன்னால் அதிகமான ஆக்கிரமிப்பு ஆனதனால் இந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்பு உற்பத்தி ஆகி அதை நீக்க முடியாமல் அந்த கிராம மக்கள் தவித்து வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். அதனால் அந்த பாளையாறில் இருந்து வரக்கூடிய நீர் குறைந்து விட்டது. அந்த குறைந்து விட்டதினால் அந்த கண்மாயில் விவசாயம் செய்வதற்கு இருபோக நஞ்சையில் விவசாயம் செய்யக்கூடிய காரணத்தை விட்டுவிட்டு ஒருபோக நஞ்சை விளைச்சல் தான் விளைந்துகிறது. அதனால் அந்த விவசாயிகள் மிகவும் ஒரு நஷ்டத்தில் வாழ்ந்து வருகிறார்கள். அந்த கிராமத்திற்கு எங்கள் முதுகுளத்தூர் வட்டாரத்திலிருந்து வட்டார தலைவர்களும் வட்டார திட்ட நிர்வாகியும் சென்று வயலக குழு அமைத்து அது மிகவும் சிறப்பாக செயல்பட்டு வந்திருக்கிறது. அந்த குழுவின் மூலம் அந்த வயலக குழுவின் மூலம் எங்கள் வட்டாரத்தில் அந்த முதுகுளத்தூர் வட்டாரத்தில் ஒரு மனு கொடுத்திருக்கிறார். எங்களுடைய வரத்து கால்வாய் ஆக்கிரமிப்பு அதிகம் இருப்பதால் எங்களுக்கு அதிகமான நஷ்டம் வந்திருக்கிறது. அதனால் அந்த நஷ்டத்தை ஈடுகட்ட நீங்கள் இந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்பை அகற்றி தர வேண்டும் என்று மனு கொடுத்திருக்கிறார்கள். அவர்கள் மனு கொடுத்ததின் காரணமாக அவர்கள் என்னுடைய நாலேஜுக்கு அந்த காரணத்தை எடுத்து வைத்தார்கள். நான் உடனே அந்த வட்டாரத்துக்கு சென்று வட்டார தலைவர்களையும் அந்த திட்ட நிர்வாகத்தையும் அந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்பு பற்றி விசாரணை செய்து மறுபடி அந்த வட்டார தலைவர்களையும் திட்ட நிர்வாகியும் அந்த மேலக்கொடுமூர் கிராமத்திற்கு கூட்டி சென்று அந்த வயலக குழு மெம்பர்களை அழைத்து அவர்களையும் கலந்து ஆலோசித்து அந்த கிராமத்தையே மக்களை அனைவரையும் ஒன்று இணைத்து கூட்டமாக கூட்டி அந்த கால்வாயினுடைய விவரங்களை எல்லாம் நான் விசாரித்து கண்டறிந்து அதை ஆலோசனை பண்ணினேன். அதற்கடுத்து இந்த கால்வாயை ஆக்கிரமிப்பை அகற்ற வேண்டும் என்றால் நம்ம அந்த ராமநாதபுரம் மாவட்டத்தினுடைய மாவட்ட ஆட்சியர் அலுவலகத்தில் குறதீர்க்கும் நாளில் இந்த காலாங்கரை ஆக்கிரமிப்பை அகற்றுவதற்காக மனு கொடுக்க வேண்டும் என்று அங்கே சென்று மனு கொடுத்தோம். அந்த மனுவை அவர் கலெக்டர் ஏற்றுக்கொண்டு இந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்பை அகற்றுவதற்கு நான் அனுமதி தருகிறேன், உடனே ஒரு அனுமதி லெட்டர் நான் வட்டாட்சியர் அவர்களுக்கு அனுப்பி வைக்கிறேன், நீங்கள் சென்று அந்த வட்டாட்சியரை அணுகுங்கள், வட்டாட்சியர் அணுகுனீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு இந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்பை அகற்றி கொடுப்பதற்கு உதவுவார்கள் என்று கூறினார்கள். அந்த முறைப்படி நாங்கள் வட்டார கூட்டமைப்பு தலைவர்களும் திட்ட நிர்வாகிகளும் அந்த வயலக உறுப்பினர்களும் மேலக்கொடுமூர் வயலக உறுப்பினர்களும் சென்று வட்டாட்சியரை பார்த்தோம். அப்போ வட்டாட்சியர் எனக்கும் மாவட்ட ஆட்சியரிடமிருந்து தபால் வந்திருக்கிறது, உங்களுடைய கோரிக்கை நான் ஏற்று எங்களுடைய விஓ ஆர்ஐ சர்வே டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் இப்படி அரசு அதிகாரிகளை அனுப்பி உங்கள் கிராம மக்கள் ஒத்துழைப்போடு அந்த கால்வாயில் உள்ள ஆக்கிரமிப்புகளை அகற்றுவதற்கு அதை அளந்து எல்லைக்கல்லுகளை ஊண்டி அதை அகற்ற உங்களுக்கு உதவி செய்கிறேன் என்று சொல்லி அதிகாரிகளை அனுப்பிவிட்டார். நாங்கள் கிராமத்தில் உள்ள மக்களையும் ஒன்று திரட்டி அந்த கால்வாய் 3 கிலோமீட்டர் நீளத்தில் உள்ள கால்வாயை அளந்து 15 மீட்டர் அகலத்திற்கு அளந்து அது எல்லை கல்லுகளை ஊண்டி விட்டோம். இந்த எல்லை கல்லுகளை ஊண்டியவுடன் ஆக்கிரமிப்புதார்கள் இது அரசாங்கத்தினுடைய நிலமாக இருக்கிறது, அதனால் தான் அரசாங்கத்திலிருந்து அளந்து இந்த கால்வாயினுடைய அகலத்தை அளந்து ஊண்டி இருக்கிறார்கள் அப்படின்னு அவர்களாகவே அப்புறப்படுத்தி விட்டார்கள் ஆக்கிரமிப்புகளை. அப்போ பின்னால் நான் அந்த வட்டார கூட்டமைப்பு தலைவர்களையும் திட்ட நிர்வாகம் கூப்பிட்டு ஒரு ஆலோசனை, இந்த மேலக்கொடுமூர் கண்மாயினுடைய கால்வாயை நம்மளுடைய தானவர்களினுடைய சீரமைப்பு பணி இந்த கால்வாய் வயலக சீரமைப்பு பணி மூலம் வெகு சீக்கிரமாக இந்த பணியை நீங்கள் செய்து முடிக்க வேண்டும் என்று ஆலோசனை சொல்லிவிட்டு வந்துவிட்டேன். அவர்களும் அந்த பணியை வெகு சீக்கிரம் அதுக்கு என்னென்ன நடைமுறை இருக்கிறதோ அந்த நடைமுறைப்படி அந்த பணியை வரத்து கால்வாய் பணியை மிக சீக்கிரமாக முடித்து விட்டார்கள். அப்ப போன வருஷம் அந்த கண்மாய்க்கு வந்த நீரினுடைய கொள்ளளவை விட இந்த வருடம் மழை பெய்து அந்த சீரமைப்பு பணி நடந்ததினால் மழை பெய்து பாலாற்றிலிருந்து வரக்கூடிய தண்ணீர் 1.5 மடங்கு கூடுதலாக அந்த கண்மாய் நிறைய பெருகி அது கொள்ளளவு அதிக தண்ணீரை பிடித்து விட்டது. அதனால் அந்த கிராமத்தில் உள்ள நிலத்தடி நீர் உயர்ந்து விட்டது. அதை சுற்றியுள்ள கிணறுகளிலும் நீர் அதிகமாக ஊறுவதற்கு வசதியாக அந்த கண்மாயினுடைய நீர் கொள்ளளவு அதிகமாகிவிட்டது. இதனால் அந்த விவசாயிகள் அதிக லாபம் அடைந்து விட்டார்கள். இதனால் இந்த திட்டம் ஆக்கிரமிப்பை அகற்றுவதனால் விவசாயிகளுடைய வாழ்க்கை தரமும் உயர்ந்து மேம்பாடும் உயர்வதற்கு நாங்கள் அரும்பாடுபட்டு அந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்பை அகற்றி கொடுத்து கால்வாய் சீரமைப்பு பணியும் செய்து கொடுத்தோம். இதில் நான் இந்த வட்டாரங்களுக்கு இந்த வயலக கூட்டம், சங்கிலித்தோடர் கூட்டம், வட்டார வயலக கூட்டங்களுக்கு சென்று பார்ப்பேன். அப்போ அந்த கூட்டங்களிலே வந்து வயலக கூட்டம் என்றால் ஆண்கள் மட்டும்தான் உறுப்பினராக இருக்கிறார்கள். இதில் பெண்களுடைய பங்கும் இருக்க வேண்டும் என்ற காரணத்தை கூறி பெண்களையும் எல்லா 3 வயலகங்களிலும் பெண்கள் பங்கு பெற வேண்டும் என்று அறிவுறுத்தி வந்திருக்கிறேன். அது ஒரு சில வட்டாரங்களிலே பெண்களும் பங்கு பெற்றிருக்கிறார்கள். அதற்கு ஒரு உதாரணத்தை சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். நரிக்குடி வட்டாரத்தில் பனைக்குடி என்ற கிராமத்தில் ஒரு ஏந்தல் கண்மாய் என்று ஒரு சிறிய கண்மாய், 58 ஏக்கர் தான் அந்த விவசாய நிலம் உள்ளது. அந்த சிறிய கண்மாய்க்கு பெண்களாகவே ஒரு நிர்வாகம் பண்ணி வந்திருக்கிறார்கள், விவசாயம் பண்ணி வந்திருக்கிறார். ஏன்னா அந்த கிராமத்தில் உள்ள ஆண்கள் வந்து அவர்களுடைய பொழைப்பு காரணமாக வெளியூர்களுக்கு சென்று விடுவார்களாம். அப்ப அங்கே உள்ள பெண்களே அந்த கிராமத்தில் அந்த கண்மாயை பராமரித்து வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். அந்த கண்மாய்க்கு ஒரு 400 மீட்டர் நீளத்திலே ஒரு கால்வாய் இருந்திருக்கிறது. அது நல்ல முறையிலே அந்த கால்வாய் இருந்து கண்மாய்க்கு தண்ணீர் வந்து இவர்கள் விவசாயம் செய்து கொண்டுதான் வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். ஆனால் அதிலே அங்கே ஒரு அதிகாரம் படைத்த ஒரு மனிதர் அந்த கால்வாயின் குறுக்கே மண்ணை அடித்து அதை ஆக்கிரமிப்பு செய்து விட்டார். இவங்கள் பெண்கள் வயலக குழுவாக இருந்ததால் பெண்கள் என்ன செய்துவிட முடியும் என்று அவர்கள் அதை மறைத்து அந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்பை செய்துவிட்டார். அதை போய் வயலக மெம்பர்களும் வட்டாரத்தில் இருந்தும் திட்ட நிர்வாகிகளும் போய் கலந்து அவரை ஆக்கிரமிப்பை அகற்ற சொல்லியிருக்கிறார்கள். அவர்கள் அகற்றுவதற்கு அவர் முடியாது என்று கூறிவிட்டார். அது என்னுடைய நாலேஜுக்கு வந்தது. அப்போ நானும் அந்த வட்டாரத்து அந்த கண்மாய்க்கு சென்று அந்த வயல உறுப்பினர்களை கூப்பிட்டு இந்த வட்டார நிர்வாகிகள் இந்த திட்ட நிர்வாகி எல்லாம் போய் அந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்புதாரிடம் பேசினோம். அப்போ இந்த பெண்கள் குழு வயலக குழுவிலிருந்து முதலிலேயே விஓவிடம் சென்று அவர்கள் அந்த வாரத்து கால்வாயினுடைய ரெக்கார்டுகளை, அரசாங்க ரெக்கார்டுகளை வாங்கி வைத்திருக்கிறார். அடங்கல், ஏரிஸ்டர், எஃப்எம்பி இதுகளை வாங்கி வைத்திருந்தார்கள். அந்த ரெக்கார்டுகளை என்னிடம் கொடுத்து விவரங்களை நான் அந்த ஆக்கிரமித்தாளம் எடுத்து நான் அது ரெவன்யூ டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டிலே 30 வருடம் பணியாற்றி இருக்கிறேன். அதனால் இந்த கணக்கு வந்து இந்த நல்லபடி இருக்கிறது என்று அவரிடம் எடுத்து கூறி நல்ல விளக்கமாக கூறி அதை நான் அவர்கள் புரிய வைத்து விட்டேன். அவரும் புரிந்து கொண்டு அதை சரி நீங்கள் இந்த கால்வாயை நல்லா வெட்டி நீங்கள் தண்ணீரை கொண்டு போங்கள் என்று கூறிவிட்டார். அதன்படி அந்த மகளிர் குழு வயலக குழு அவங்களே அதை வெட்டி நீரை கொண்டு வருவதற்கு வசதியாக இருந்து விட்டது.
Okay, super. I thank our farmer, Mr. Durairaj for sharing his experience.
So, from my understanding, like, maybe it might be very difficult to other participants to understand, but he got more emotional. The process of explaining that, he referred like 2-3 classic examples, like what he did with the community. So very briefly speaking, he shared the experience, how he involved women in this encroachment eviction process. So why male only standing, why not women? So his effort of talking inside the tank and then cascade and then basin and then river basin, how he elevated the process from bottom to top. So that's the experience. He got more emotional and he shared in that emotional angle. Thank you, Aya. Thank you so much, woman Andriya.
Invite Mrs. K. University Program Leader of DHAN Foundation to help us in translation in English.
So he is Mr. Durairaj, President of Vayalagam Farmers Movement from Tamil Nadu. He shared the experience of community-led encroachment eviction in a traditional irrigation channel. That issue was on water body at Mudurai block of Tamil Nadu. Supply channel width reduced from 15 meters to 4 meters due to encroachment over there. Around 3 kilometers of the supply channel length. It affected water flow and the crop cultivation in particular water bodies. Through the Vayalagam Association, with support of him, farmers were mobilized and collective decisions were made. The issues was raised in district grievance platforms and government departments. And with support of them, the demarcation and continuous community dialogue helped remove encroachment voluntarily. And also, as a result, water flow was restored. The tank storage increased by 1.5 times of its original capacity. And its second crop cultivation also resumed. Groundwater, the ability of groundwater also improved, and the farmers gained significant economic benefits. He also shared the experience of women-led encroachment eviction in particular block. So that experience shows that strong people institutions are key to resolving conflicts, protecting water bodies from encroachment, and ensuring sustainable water governance. Finally, he quoted that it is not an, it is a community-led water governance is a continuous process. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for sharing. Now we quickly go to the second case, which is explained by Mr. Gopalakrishnan, Board of Trustee, Vayalagam Mutual Movement, Tamil Nadu. He's going to talk about the achievement of a tank cascade association in reviving water commons and agriculture livelihood in the drought-prone zone.
Mr. Gopalakrishnan has been a driving force in organizing farmers around tank cascade systems in the Gundar Basin. Now I request Mr. Gopalakrishnan to share his experience.
செந்தமிழ் நாடென்னும் போதினிலே இன்ப தேன் வந்து பாயுது காதினிலே எங்கள் தந்தையர் நாடென்னும் போதினிலே ஒரு சக்தி பிறக்குது மூச்சினிலே. இங்கு வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய அனைவருக்கும் நான் சார்ந்திருக்கக்கூடிய தானம் வயலக அமைப்பின் அன்பான வணக்கங்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். பாரம்பரியமான நீர் மேலாண்மை தமிழகத்தின் கிராமங்களினுடைய பொருளாதாரமும் சமூக கட்டமைப்பும் இணைந்ததே நீரோடு நீர் மேலாண்மையோடு இருக்கிறது. கண்மாய்கள் என்பது வெறும் நீரை சேமிக்கும் ஒரு அமைப்பு கிடையாது. அந்த கண்மாய் என்பது கிராமத்தின் செழுமை, பொருளாதாரம், சமூக கட்டமைப்பை உள்ளடக்கியது. இப்பேற்பட்ட சமூக கட்டமைப்போடு செயல்பட வேண்டும் என்ற நோக்கத்தோடு நான் ராமநாதபுரம் பக்கத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய விருதுநகர் மாவட்டத்தை சார்ந்தவன். அந்த மாவட்டத்தில் வானம் பார்த்த பூமியான நரிக்குடி பகுதியை சார்ந்தவன். அந்த நரிக்குடியிலும் முழுக்க அந்த கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய நிலத்தடி நீர் உப்பாக இருக்கக்கூடிய கிளவிகுளம் கிராமத்தை சார்ந்தவர்கள். நான் பள்ளி பருவத்தில் படிக்கின்ற பொழுதும் கல்லூரி படிப்பின் போதும் அதிகமான மாணவர் மன்றங்கள், இலக்கிய மன்றங்கள், இதனுடைய பங்கேற்பு என்பது பிற்காலத்தில் தொடர்ந்து என்னுடைய பேச்சாற்றல், என்னுடைய இந்த சமூக பங்கேற்பை உள்ளடக்கியதாக இருந்தது. அந்த அடிப்படையில் வயலகத்தினுடைய தானம் அமைப்பினுடைய இந்த சமூக கட்டமைப்பு, இந்த இயக்கம் என்னை ஈர்த்ததால் அந்த அடிப்படையில் நான் கிராமங்கள் இயங்க ஆரம்பித்தேன். ஏறக்குறைய ஒரு 10 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு மேலாக என்னுடைய பங்கேற்பு என்பது இன்றைக்கு நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா கண்மாய், அதை வைத்து நம்ம வந்து வயல்களை வந்து விவசாயம் பண்றோம். அதற்கு அடுத்து நீங்க செயின் டேங்க்ஸ், அதாவது சங்கிலித்தொடர் கண்மாய்கள் என்பது ஒரு கண்மாயில் நீர் நிரம்பி அந்த கண்மாயினுடைய இது கலுங்கு வழியாக, அதாவது சர்ப்ளஸ் லேயர் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய கலுங்கின் வழியாக அடுத்த கண்மாய்க்கு போகும். இப்போ இருந்து ஏறக்குறைய 100க்கும் மேற்பட்ட கண்மாயில் வரை இருக்கிறது. எங்கள் பகுதியில் நரிக்குடி வட்டாரத்தில் இப்படித்தான் ஆலங்குளம் என்கின்ற ஒரு சங்கிலி தொடர் இருக்கிறது. அதை நாங்க வந்து அங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய எங்களுடைய வயது முதிர்ந்தவர்களை கேட்கின்ற பொழுது, ஆய்வில் போகின்ற பொழுது 7 கண்மாய்கள் தான் அந்த சங்கிலி தொடரில் இருக்கிறது. அந்த 7 கண்மாய்களிலும் கிளவிகுளம் என்ற ஒரு கண்மாயையும் காணவில்லை, அதே மாதிரி குருந்தகுளம் என்ற ஒரு கண்மாயும் காணவில்லை. என்ன என்று சொன்னால் அங்கு விவசாயம் இல்லை. ஏன்னு பார்த்தோம் சொன்னா இந்த சங்கிலி தொடர் என்பது ஒரு கண்மாய் அடுத்த கண்மாய்க்கு போக வேண்டும். அப்ப மேல இருக்கிற கண்மாய் என்பது தடைபடுவதால் அடுத்த கண்மாய்க்கு போகவில்லை. அதனால் அந்த சங்கிலி தொடர் என்பது பாதிக்கப்படுகிறது. அந்த அடிப்படையில் இது அதே மாதிரி கிராமங்கள், 2 கிராமங்கள் இருக்கக்கூடிய நிர்வாக பிரச்சனையால் அந்த கண்மாயை தூர்வாருவது புறக்கணிக்கப்படுகிறது. அரசினுடைய அமைப்பா இருக்கக்கூடிய யூனியனும் அதாவது பஞ்சாயத்து யூனியனும் பொதுப்பணித்துறையும் கூட சில வரத்து கால்வாய்களை தூர்வாருவதை விடுகிறது. இதனால் அந்த பகுதி பாதிக்கப்படுகிறது. இப்பேற்பட்ட சிக்கல் என்பது நீர்வரத்து, மேல் கண்மாயில் இருக்கக்கூடிய நீர்வரத்து கீழ்கண்மாயிலுக்கு போகாததால் அந்த பகுதியுடைய பாசன வசதி முடக்கப்படுகிறது. இப்படி பாசன வசதி முடக்கப்படுவதால் அங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய நிலங்கள் பாசனத்தன்மை, அதாவது பாசனம் இல்லாததால் விவசாயத்தன்மை மாறி இன்றைக்கு பிளாட்டு போடக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு அதனுடைய நிலமாற்றம் மாறுகிறது. அப்ப இங்க தீர்வு என்ன, இதற்கான மாற்று என்ன என்று யோசிக்கிற போது சங்கிலி தொடர் வயலக அமைப்புகளை நாம் கட்ட வேண்டும் என்று சொல்லி வயலகத்தின் அடுத்த கட்டமாக சங்கிலித்தொடர் வயலங்களை அங்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய எங்களுடைய ஆலங்குளம், அதே மாதிரி எங்களுக்கு பக்கத்துல கருவாட்டு நேர்ந்தல், இந்த சங்கிலித்தொடர்லாம் நாங்கள் அமைக்கின்ற போது ஒரு கூட்டு முயற்சியாக தானம் வயலக அமைப்பும் அதோடு இணைந்து வரக்கூடிய ஆக்சிஸ் வங்கியும் இணைந்து எங்களுடைய மக்கள் பங்கேற்போடு அங்கே கூட்டு முயற்சியாக நாங்கள் களத்தில் இறங்குகிற போது அங்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த கலுங்குகள் பராமரிக்கப்படுகிறது. அதாவது நீர்வரத்து சேனல் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய கால்வாய்களை நாங்கள் தூர்வாருகிற போது அந்த வரத்து என்பது மாறுகிறது. இப்போது செழிப்பை நோக்கி இன்றைக்கு நீங்க ஒரு காலத்துல ஒரு சங்கிலித்தொடர் என்பது ஒரு செயின், நடுவில் இருக்கிற ஒரு கண்மா பாதிக்கப்படுகிற போது கீழே இருக்கக்கூடிய கண்மாய் விவசாயம் பாதிக்கப்படுகிறது. இப்போது நமது ஆக்சிஸ் வங்கியோடு தானம் வயலகம் இணைந்து அந்த சங்கிலித்தொடரில் பராமரிப்புகள் செய்யப்படுகிற போது ஒரு சமூக மாற்றத்தை நோக்கி போகிறது. இப்ப மனப்போக்கு எப்படி மாறுகிறது என்று சொன்னால், சங்கிலித்தொடர் இருக்கக்கூடிய மேலே இருக்கக்கூடிய கண்மாய் விவசாயிகள் ஏன் கம்மாய் என்று இல்லாமல் என்னுடைய சங்கிலித்தொடர் கண்மாய் என்கின்ற அந்த மாற்றம் என்பது ஒட்டுமொத்த சங்கிலித்தொடரும் மலர்வதற்கான ஒரு வாய்ப்பாக மாறுகிறது. இங்கே வெறும் கண்மாய் மட்டும் மலரவில்லை, ஒரு சமூக நல்லிணக்கமும் மாறுகிறது என்பதை சொல்றேன். என்னுடைய பங்கேற்பு என்பது ஒரு தாக்கத்தை உருவாக்குகிறது. எந்த அடிப்படையில் சொன்னால், வயலகம் என்பது இன்றைக்கு நீங்க சங்கிலித்தொடர் நீங்க என்ன பார்க்கணும்னு சொன்னா, இது ஒரு மண்வெட்டி வேலை மட்டும் கிடையாது. அந்த சமூகத்தை மறைமாற்றம் செய்கிற பொருளாதாரத்தையும் சேர்த்து சமூக கட்டமைப்பும் உருவாக்க ஒரு அமைப்பாக மாறுகிறது. முடிவாக என்னுடைய அந்த பங்கேற்பின் அடிப்படையில் என்ன சொல்றோம்னு சொன்னா, சங்கிலித்தொடர் என்பது மீட்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. அங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய கண்மாய்கள் என்பது அதனுடைய நீர் வரத்து மேலே ஒரு கண்மாய்ன்னு சொன்னா மேலே வரத்து கால்வாய் மூலம் தண்ணீர் வர வேண்டும். அதே மாதிரி அதனுடைய கலுங்கு சர்ப்ளஸ் லேயர் வளம் அடுத்த கண்மாய்க்கு போக வேண்டும். இது சரியாக அமைந்தால் அந்த சங்கிலித்தொடர் சுயட்சமாக மாறும். இதுதான் எங்களுடைய பின்தங்கிய, அதே மாதிரி வானம் பார்த்த பூமி என்றக்கூடிய அந்த ஒன்றுபட்ட ராமநாதபுரம் என்று சொல்லுவோம். விருதுநகர், சிவகங்கை, ராமநாதபுரம் பெரும்பாலும் கண்மாயை சார்ந்தே இருக்கிறது, நீர் பாசனத்தை சார்ந்தே இருக்கிறது. நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா அதுக்கு நீங்க ஒரு பகுதியில கூட நீங்க காவேரி படுகையில பாத்தீங்கன்னா கால்வாய்கள் இது வைகை, இது 6 கால்வாய் பாசனம் இருக்கும். எங்க பகுதியில போறான் கண்மாய் நேரடி பாசனம். இதை இன்றைக்கு மாற்றியது என்பது சங்கிலித்தொடர் வயலகத்தினுடைய வரவால் எங்களுடைய வயலகம் காட்டிய வழியில் சங்கிலித்தொடரை நாங்கள் அற்புதமாக பயன்படுத்தினோம். அதனால் இன்றைக்கு மிகச்சிறந்த ஒரு பாசன அமைப்பை உருவாக்கி இருக்கிறோம். மன நிம்மதியோடு இந்த சங்கிலித்தொடர் என்பது இன்னும் தொடர வேண்டும். காண்டாண்டு காலமாக சங்கிலித்தொடர் வயலகம் பராமரிக்கப்பட வேண்டும். இந்த வாய்ப்பை குறித்த ஆக்சிஸ் வங்கி எங்களுடைய வயலகம் ஒத்துழைப்பு கொடுத்த அனைத்து வயலக மக்களுக்கும் என்னுடைய சார்பாகவும் அனைவர் சார்பாகவும் நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, Mr. Gopalakrishnan, farmer. Now I invite Mrs. Shanti Venkatesan, senior leader from DHAN Foundation, to help us in translation.
Thank you. Mr. Gopalakrishnan shared their experience in reviving tank cascade systems in a drought-prone region of Virudunagar district in Tamil Nadu. In the Gundar Basin, degraded and poorly managed tanks led to water scarcity and low agriculture productivity. Then fragmented management also affected the equitable water distribution. So, they strengthened their Vayalagam institution at village, cascade and basin levels. Farmers contributed to tank restoration and maintenance works. Then they also worked with government systems and promoted agricultural practices. So that they continuous meetings were conducted to encourage farmers to move away from selfish interest and to foster the public welfare mindset, encouraging the downstream farmers for also receive the water. Then again, the leadership with the approach of bridging traditional wisdom in the modern legal knowledge serve as an excellent guide for water body management. So that as a result, water availability has improved, agriculture productivity has increased, and farmer livelihoods were also strengthened. So the restoration of chain-linked tank system that was on the verge of destruction. So finally, this experience shows that multi-layered people institutions are essential for equitable water sharing and also long-term sustainability of water commons. So finally, a call of hope has extended towards sustainable agriculture production. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Mr. Gopalakrishnan and Shanti Madam. So now I will move on to the next presentation by Mr. Hemant, Head CSR, Reddington Foundation from Chennai. His topic is on partnership experience of Reddington Foundation in community-led conservation of water resources.
Mr. Hemant Lohia heads corporate social responsibility at Reddington Foundation, where he drives impactful partnerships focused on water conservation, skill building, and community development. His leadership has enabled innovative collaborations with organizations like the DHAN Foundation to restore water bodies and strengthen local institutions. Now I request Mr. Hemant Lohi to deliver his special address.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Lokesh, and thank you, ICID team, to giving us an opportunity to share our experience. So, good morning, everyone. I will not take much time. I will start with my PPT. Just allow me a minute. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, good morning, everyone. I think as the topic assigned to us, we would like to brief more about what is our experience in terms of the partnership related to the community-led interventions, which we undertook under our community development initiative. So, before I would like to start, one thing I think DHAN is one of our active partner along this. I think during this journey, I think we did a couple of projects with them also, which we are going to brief in coming slide. Being a Reddington, just for everyone understanding, since a lot of people are from different region and different countries they have joined. So Reddington Foundation is a CSR arm of Reddington Limited. So the intent of this foundation is to uplift the underserved community. This is one of our main intent, and we want to promote that social welfare and sustainability, whatever the initiative we are going to take. So our portfolio, which we have built up, so we are working on three thematic major area. So skilling is one of the area which is our close to heart, being organizations who working with tech companies across more than 400 brands across the globe. So we feel to develop this nation as per our Prime Minister vision, I think we have to work a lot on skilling. So this is one of area where we're investing a lot, we are putting a lot of effort on that. Second, which we also feel, which is also part of our community-led along with the water initiative, where we are focusing on educate to empower, wherein we are majorly working on school wash infrastructure facilities, especially eastern part of the country, where we already revived more than 120 schools, and this year we're focusing almost around 82 schools to revive the entire wash facilities. So what we feel because since this forum is for water, so water is one of a critical area, even the schools, especially in the drought prone area, and this, if you travel like location like Assam or location like even in Odisha, or even in West Bengal, we have seen there is a dropout in the schools, because one thing is that there is no water facility available. The water is contaminated, especially in the eastern part. If you see in the Assam, there is majority you will find arsenic in the area. Even you move toward Bhubaneswar, probably you will get more fluorine. At the same time, the drought, and plus apart from drought, I think the flood is also creating a lot of trouble in this part of the country, especially if you travel from West Bengal to Bhubaneswar. So we have worked very aggressively there, especially to revive the entire school wash facilities there. This is one of the area we're focusing a lot. And last but not the least, I think through community development program, we are working in two major segments. One is we said Reddington for water. So that I'm going to discuss in my upcoming slide, wherein we are working on restorations, at the same time access to water, and parallelly we're also working how we can ensure a safe, clean drinking water for the communities as well as for the schools. Apart from this, I think renewable energy is also one of the area where we are working a lot, especially DHAN is our partner on that, wherein we are working very remotest part of the country to enabling renewable energy uh, at the last milestone. At the same time, we have a few intervention about healthcare. So moving forward to the water security and congestion, what we are doing before that, I think I would request if Lokesh can play the AV. So that particular program I would like to highlight here, because since we are talking about community-led intervention, so I want to show that AV, which will give you a classic example how a community-led intervention can enable the access to water, clean water at a community level. Over to you.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Give a minute.
Lokesh, is this audio is there?
Sir, 1 second, sir. 1 second.
Same as system work.
Lokesh, but we are not able to hear audio. You guys are able to hear the audio?
1 minute, 1 minute.
ये तो क्या था सेम तो क्या है सेम किया सर सोने टीवी करूं क्या now can you, now you can hear hello
No, we are not able to hear, but anyways, you guys are hearing. No, we are not able to hear, but online we are not able to hear. I think you, while you sharing, you have to enable audio, sir. Can you try? You can display. Just hold on. Otherwise, let me do from my end. Can you unshare from there, Lokesh? I will share.
Okay, sir. Okay. Stop.
Just hold on. Just allow me a minute.
please share
Yeah, just a minute, sir. I'm sharing. I don't think audio is coming now. I don't think audio is. You guys are able to hear? Just a minute. Good audio is there, Lokesh?
yes you the presentation your video is not audible
Audio is not visible.
Video you're not able to see?
Video we can see it, sir, but we can't see we can't hear the
Audio.
audio.
Okay. So Lokesh, my suggestion is that I think you guys play from there,
okay
and you are able to hear the audio now. Let you continue. I will narrate after that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
என் பேர் பானுப்பிரியா. எனக்கு 2 பெண் குழந்தை இருக்கு. நான் வந்து பிறந்த ஊர் பக்கத்துல மல்லல். நான் இங்க கல்யாணம் பண்ணி வந்து 16 வருஷம் ஆச்சு. 16 வருஷமாவே நாங்க வந்து இங்க இருந்து ஒரு 3/4 மணி நேரம் ஆகும் போய் தண்ணி எடுத்துட்டு வரணும். ரொம்ப சிரமம் தான். முதல்ல இப்போதே இந்த தண்ணி ஊங்கி இருந்திருக்கு. முதல்ல கையிலேயே தலையிலேயே தூக்கி தூக்கி கொண்டுகிட்டு இருந்து கஷ்டப்பட்டேன் ரொம்ப. ஆனா இப்ப கூட கொஞ்சம் பரவாயில்ல. மழை தண்ணி நேரத்துல ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டான். தண்ணி போய் அள்ள முடியாது. தண்ணி பூரா மழை தண்ணி கமல் தண்ணி இதுல பாஞ்சு சேர்ந்து ரொம்ப இதாயிரும். கொல கொலன்னு குடிக்கிறதுக்கு சுள்ளு மொழி கொடுத்தாலும் ஒத்துக்கிறாரு. ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டா. பிள்ளைய வந்து பள்ளிக்கூடம் அனுப்ப முடியாது அந்த டயத்துல. நாங்கெல்லாம் தோட்டத்து வேலைக்கு போறவங்க ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும். சாயந்தரம் வந்து மழை டயத்துல அனுப்பவும் முடியாது. பிள்ளைகளை ஸ்கூலுக்கு அனுப்புறது ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருந்துச்சு. எங்கிட்ட அள்ளிட்டு வந்து இப்ப வந்து டெலிட்டர் நிறுவனத்துல இருந்து இந்த மாதிரி எங்களுக்கு தனி டேங்கு கெட்டி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. வாஸ் இருந்து அது வந்து ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு. கார்டு கொடுக்குறாங்க. அத ஒரு கார்டு வச்சோம்னா 2 பானம் குடிக்கலாம். இப்ப நாங்க வீட்டு பக்கத்துல ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் வந்தோம்னா 5 நிமிஷத்துக்குள்ள தண்ணி எடுத்துட்டு போயிருவோம். பிள்ளைகளையும் ஸ்கூலுக்கு கிளப்ப கொஞ்சம் நல்லா யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு, பயனா இருக்கு எங்களுக்கு சீக்கிரம். இதுல வந்து ஒரு குழு அமைச்சிருக்காங்க, ஒரு 12 பேர். 12 பேர்ல நான் பொருளாளரா இருக்கேன். மாசம் 30 ரூபாய் சேமிப்போம். சேமிச்சு கொண்டு பேங்க்ல போட்டுருவோம். இந்த பேங்க்ல என்ன பிரச்சனை இருந்தாலும் விஷயம் இல்ல, உடனே எடுத்துட்டு வந்து பார்த்து சரி பண்ணி போடுறது மாதிரி இந்த காசு நாங்க மாசம் மாசம் சேமிச்சு வச்சிருக்கோம். அதனால எங்களுக்கு இந்த தண்ணி வந்ததுல ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். இந்த டெலிட்டர் நிறுவனத்திற்கு கோடிக்கான நன்றி எங்களுக்கு. நன்றி அமைச்சு கொடுத்ததுக்கு.
Sir, please.
Yeah, thank you. So this is one of the work which I would like to highlight here. So we did this program in Ramnath district in Tamil Nadu. Ramnath, I think, as we all are aware, this is one of aspirational districts, as well as the district which is facing a trouble, especially in terms of the salinity in the water. So you have able to see in the first few slides where still they are totally dependent on the lorry water. Even there is no clean water available in the entire region. So what we did there, we revived a few of the unnis there, and we set up an entire community driven tank there, wherein this after the filtration, we created a one village water group there who is now responsible to handle the entire operation. So per day they are paying per month they are paying 30 rupees to get 40-liter water per day kind of thing. So through water ATM they can get the water. So I think earlier they used to pay 40 rupees to get 20 liters of water kind of per day. So per month their investment was around 1,200 rupees as a family household they need to pay. Now I think they're paying only 30 rupees. So this we set up in 5 villages and we are going to expand more. And I'm grateful to share the basis of this. I think 2 more corporates now coming forward. They are now going to saturate the entire block in Ramnath to enable the community on this particular reason to provide them the clean drinking water for their day-to-day life. So coming to this, what we are doing in Reddington. So Reddington, I think, as I said, we are focusing a lot on access to water. This is one of our thematic area. But before I'm going to start on this, I think one of the data pointer which I would like to highlight, which I think keep triggering to me from one of the recent UN water development report of 2024, which says 2.2 billion of the population across the globe, they are facing in terms of trouble with the safe water. So when I'm saying 2.2 billion and trouble with safe water, so this is not related with the contaminated water. This is not related to the access to clean water. This is about this everyone, especially this 2.2 billion, they are facing some or other way to get the safe water, especially for the drinking and other purpose. So what we are doing, I think this is one of the indicator which we got. But if you talk about the Indian continental or India as a country wise, I think almost 37.7 million as per the UNICEF report and as per also the UN World Water Report 2024. This says around 37.7, almost 38 million people are especially affecting with the waterborne disease every year. And we have seen almost 1.5 million of children. They unfortunately they got died because of the diarrheal. They got annually. So even you go to the go to the cities or the state which are major facing trouble with the drought especially and the flood especially. UNICEF and the other few of the leading organizations, they observe around 22% of the school dropout, from 22% of the school dropout in that. So so what we are doing to come out with these things, we are putting our efforts on that. So we have divided our work in 4 different zones. And we usually say these are the 4 pillars which we are working, and these 4 pillars are interconnected each other. Somewhere we are working on upstream side, somewhere we are working on the downstream side to enable the somewhere we are, so one way we are ensuring availability of the water at the community level, like when we are working about restoration, recharge, especially on the revival of the community and individual bed ponds, plus we revive few water forest water bodies, and we also revive almost more than 62 community wells along with the DHAN team in the region like Kalvara Hill, which is one of a remotest part of the Tamil Nadu. And here the people, especially the women, needs to fetch water from almost for 700 to 800 meter from the ground to take it to the mountain. Plus, we also work in few of the schools to enabling the rainwater harvesting structure. So this is one way we are ensuring how we can work around upstream kind of thing to enable the water at a community level. Same time, we are also focusing on how we can improve the community infrastructure, especially in this 8th state we are working. So we are working here in terms of focusing on, especially to create water storage tanks, which I think almost we covered all the 50 villages in Kalvara and Hill, especially in that area. Recent past, we work in Barpeta district in Assam, where and this particular region usually get affected by the flood. So during the time of flood, people needs to get shifted to the nearest school and other relief zones. So there we put some raised-based hand pump so that even the time of you have the flood till 1 feet or one above than 1 feet, they are able to get the water during that crisis time. Plus, we also did one of the thing which is I think a very unique, which Lokesh can brief after this presentation also, wherein in Vizag, including both restore and recharge and renovation of community infrastructure, I think we revive an entire cascade in Vizag districts along with the help of VMRDA, along with DHAN and other people, wherein we revive the entire cascade. So now after revival of the cascade, it is helping them one way to the farmers to do their agriculture, which they have stopped almost from last couple of years, which they are going to.
Latest look. Your latest look.
Can say, because this we started almost 3 years ago, where we are ensuring all the schools which we are working on the wash kind of thing, we are enabling them with filtration facilities, so that even the schools throughout the year they can able to get a clean drinking water, which may help in a two-way. One is improve their hygiene, improve their health and hygiene factor. At the same time, it enables them to attend their schools. There is no school dropout because of the water they're able to see. So these are the 4 areas which are interconnected with each, and we are focusing a lot. DHAN is one of our partner in this entire journey, and we did a couple of programs with them. Moving to the left side, so this is something we'd like to highlight here in terms of the program impact we have created. We are covering almost 8 to 9 states through these initiatives. So our locations are, as I said earlier, we are focusing on the remotest part of the country, like location like Kalvara Hill and Javadu Hill and Ramnath district. Location like even in Kerala, we are working with a tribe called Kani tribe, where we are ensuring that where we are restoring the community ponds, especially in that region, which falls under the forest region. Barpeta also one of the area where we are working on storing the. We are providing that drinking water, individual water filter. Plus, we also set up some base hand pumps there. And that Assam, Uluberia and Barpeta, apart from that, Odisha recent past we started, where we are working very actively on the school wash facilities and providing and ensuring that the drinking water facility is available with them. So these are some indicators of our work, which we did along with our partner like DHAN, partner like Wash Institute. And I think almost it impacted to more than 50,000 of the population over the year while doing all this initiative. So what we are expecting in coming days or in coming couple of years, what we are going to focus on, since as I said earlier, we are the Reddington for water is very close to us. So what we are now going to focus on, one thing which we have seen in recent past, which is I think in Vizag we found this is one of the model we can work on to scale the cascade restoration, and some community-based restorations model like the Varamnath you have seen. So we are going to focus on this couple of model in coming year. We'll work to expand on these two particular domain so that it can so we can enable access to water. At the same time, we will be able to provide a clean drinking water facility at the community level. We would like to integrate more on urban water systems with the community governance framework. Right now, we only started with Vizag, but I think in coming years, we are going to focus to add few more districts and going to work along with that. One thing which recently we started in School Wash initiative, we are focusing on climate resilient infrastructure, especially in the flood prone area. So there we are focusing on creating the access to water and plus clean drinking water facilities to strengthen the community when they are facing in terms of flood, in terms of drought. Both the side we are working on that. One of the model which I think I would like to highlight here, based on our experience, especially in the Vizag and especially in the other part of the country, I think if we want to scale probably in this space, we have to enable the multi-stakeholder partnership. Then only I think we can work on a large extent and we can create an impact at the larger level. So when I'm talking about the partnership, so I think this 4 area could be a part of that multi-stakeholder program. One is the civil societies like NGO partner like DHAN, NGO partner like WASH and other, whom are the backbone of the program which we are doing. Local communities, of course, they are the one who put their ownership, who are the one who going to take a long-term sustainability of the system. So they also need to be part actively on that. So the civil societies like DHAN and the other partner, I think they need to work very closely with these communities to ensure that from day one they own that infrastructure, they own the project, so that when we are going to hand over or we are going to exit from that area, it could be there for a long-term duration. While doing this, one thing we realize, if we can able to actively work along with the local government, especially for the policy driven or to get the public funding for the water infrastructure, I think we need to work actively along with the local government, which will enable them to get the appropriate approvals, and this may also enable to showcase our whatever the work we did or whatever the work we are going to do. This may help us in terms of the scale up of the program. I think we would like to work with few like-minded corporates in coming year. As I said earlier, Ramnath is already, we have seen other corporates are joining that, but we would like to work along with other corporates also to scale up this intervention. So this is something we are focusing on. We'll like to hear from you guys if you have anything like to ask me on focus on, and any question if you have. I tried my best in 15 minutes to explain what we are doing in Reddington and what we are focusing on. So thank you so much for inviting us and giving us an opportunity to share the work which you are doing. Over to your location, ICID team.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We well captured, sir. So by considering the time, sir, the audience will have question. They will raise a mail. So we will write back to you if there is any concern mail, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Now we are moving to the very important session of technical session. So I'd like to invite Dr. B.S. Brahmanand on the topic of bankable water use efficient technology for scaling up of tank-fed agriculture.
Dr. P.S. Brahmanand is a distinguished agriculture scientist and a project director of the Water Technology Center at the ICR Indian Agricultural Research Institute at New Delhi, with extensive expertise in agronomy, soil and water conservation, and climate resilient agriculture. Now I request Dr. P.S. Brahmanand to share his special address.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, good afternoon to all of you. Respected R.K.Gupta sir. And then we have all esteemed delegates from DHAN Foundation, especially Mr. Venkatesan and Jindalji. I'm thankful to you for inviting me and to have at least some sharing of my thoughts in this particular context. and my own colleague, Dr. Kajanchi Lalji, is my senior colleague at Water Technology Center, ICID, and beloved farmers who have vast experience on tank irrigation. Vanakkam. So first of all, this is a topic because what I am finding, like, you have very good field experience, you explained it. And I think that is the main crux actually. But the topic which I am going to speak is a overall scenario. And out of that overall scenario, what are the options which we have, which you can think, because based on your practical experience, you can have a look at it. कुछ ये है क्या? ये
पॉइंटर है?
पॉइंटर नहीं तो मैं उधर से कर लूँगा बेटर. I can cross move. So we are now presently discussing on the tank irrigation and tank-fed agriculture, how we can promote it. See, in India, we have the storage, the per capita water storage is very less. Because of our population, of course, that is one factor. But another thing is there is a lot of scope is there. Enormous rainfall. So tanks are comprising almost like 16% of the total water bodies in the country. So it's very significant share in the total water bodies. Now we'll see once we create the storage water through the tanks, how we can make a best utility of it. So that is the one which we'll be speaking here. So India is targeting water use efficiency from 40% to 70% by 2047. That is 100 years after India's independence. So out of that, the river rejuvenation is one important area. Enhancing water storage is important. And after creating the water storage, how we can utilize it. So government has some of the very good schemes also. Along with research, the combination of both are required that I just showed. So this is the picture which explains that, whatever the rainfall that happens, out of that, around 60% it will go back as evapotranspiration. So keeping that in the mind, we made the estimations for the budget. Like in a country like India, like a house, you will have in a budget how much is the income and what should be my expenditure. Similarly, for this, the very topmost point, that is 4,000 billion cubic meters, is the amount of water which is available through the rainfall and other precipitation. So, but we can utilize only the utilizable resources is only 1123 BCM. Now we are making a revised estimates. I'm being part of the National Task Force. In 1999, Hashim Committee, whatever has given, those figures are going to change now. Maybe by this year end, we are going to give the new estimates for that. The issue is when you talk about tank irrigation, we also should see that how much is the irrigated area in the country now, in India. Now, out of the total net zone area, it's 59% now, according to recent statistics. We have reached to the irrigation, whereas 41% is the rain-fed. In both the cases, we need to enhance the water use efficiency. At the same time, we are also having competition from other sectors, like energy is growing at a very faster rate. Industry is growing. So irrigation will not have this luxury of having 80% share. It is going to be reduced to 74% by 2047. Where this water is going, when you talk about budget, so the water is going to different crops. This is only pictorial representation. You can find like green portion is like rice, wheat in the Indo-Gangetic, and in case of Tamil Nadu also you can find especially rice is the important crop in the Kharif season. We made the estimations for individual, state-wise, what is the total estimation requirement for the water and all. Now come to the present scenario, the glaciers are melting. Last year, World Water Day, we celebrated with a theme like glacier preservation. The water resources are getting reduced. In Himalayan ecosystem, lot of reduction is happening. Venezuela and Slovenia, they already lost the total glaciers. They were having glaciers earlier, now totally lost. Now, what we need to see is we have to come up with some of the measures. How can we make some of the interventions to solve the water crisis? In this, the tank irrigation, tank-fed agriculture, the topic which ICID and DHAN is conducting is very relevant. That I want to say. Just I took some few seconds for this particular initial introduction. Now there are a lot of disparities between the irrigation percentage in different crops, and there are a lot of variations in the micro irrigation, which has a huge potential. Now India has now come to almost 18 million hectares now. Now the thing is that these are some of the states which I have shown. You can find Tamil Nadu also here. The way in which these 6 states which I have shown, they are taking more than 80% of the total area. Whereas remaining states, they are having very less area under micro irrigation. These are some of the issues which you need to address. And now the very specific area where what are those bankable water use efficient technologies, which I can share here within few minutes. So this is the picture which is connecting to the today's topic. The total number of water bodies in the country is around 24 lakhs. Out of that, now 15.7% is tanks, 59.5% is the ponds. Now the social component and all are also being reflected, like public share is around 45% and private share is 55%. And out of all the public one, mainly it is owned by the panchayats. There the role of DHAN is coming. The way in which you are making organized efforts. So that is very important for these type of structures to make it. We all know that the Honorable Prime Minister has inaugurated the Amrit Sarovar in 2022 April. We targeted 50,000 Amrit Sarovars, but we have achieved more than 68,000 Amrit Sarovars, either a new creation or renovation. This is the picture which I have seen is in this capital city only, just in our IARI campus. So tomorrow when you come, actually in the same institute, we have this facility. At the village level, the way in which you are doing the tank irrigation, now the water bodies, how to revive it, that is very important. Government of India has targeted now to estimate the potential command area through the additional stored water for the wheat crop. And we also provided the technical support from WTC to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Now, this is the one which we have studied in Haryana, where to make the renovation, and also based on that, how much area that can enhance around 2.15 times here. And we also given the plan for the water quality improvement also. In tank irrigation also, you have to see in some of the areas where the quality is a constraint, that also needs to be addressed. So this is one area, actually 10% of the total land area can be converted into a refuse. And from the refuse, you can cultivate some of the fish from the fry to fingerling, not the bigger fish. Only from 1 gram to around 80 to 100 grams one can do, along with the rice cultivation in some of the regions of Tamil Nadu. This is very much possible. This model has been very much successful, and the government of Odisha has identified this as one of the potential technologies where 25% subsidy has been provided. Now, this is the tank and well system. Again, a very successful one. Here, what happens, both will complement each other. Like wherever the tank is there, the well is very nearer to that, and that series of the combination of tank and well, that series of 15 tanks and wells which we have created, that model, it has irrigated more than 60 hectares, and it has gone to the other areas this is in the tribal belt in Odisha where the work has been done. And such type of models, what I want to say, you have enormous experience. You come up with some combination of some other techniques, and then the overall on what I can say, like in a collaborative mode, in a cooperative mode, if you can bring the private investment and large scale, you can upscale. So that is the area where I would like to speak. This is the ICR Flexi rubber check dam, especially after the storage happens, wherever the water flow is there through the natural nalas and all, that can be captured in a better manner compared to the concrete check dams, because in concrete check dams, generally the cracks will develop after the 5 years, especially in Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana, because the temperatures are very high. Whereas this one has a life of more than 20 years. And it has been tested in hydraulic lab of IIT Mumbai, Professor Elido and others. And otherwise also we installed first one in 2012. Now 14 years happened in some of the locations, everything is fine. So this can provide irrigation to a different type of this one. Now come to how to utilize this tank irrigated stored water. See, in case of micro irrigation, we have very good option. And in case of surface irrigation also, because some of the crops, especially rice crop, still area is under surface irrigation. The farmer suddenly will not shift. So, but we have to reach to the farmer's necessity. So for that also, I will show the two important things. So this is for the different crops. You have different results depending on the soil type and all. And these are the different saving percentages which has been done from the PFDC center in WTC IRI, which we have also tested in case of sorghum and pearl millet, because everyone understands millets means only rain-fed. But if you see the percentage now, 12% in sorghum and 15% in pearl millet, but that is going to be, we have kept a target of doubling that. Not the total one. The rain-fed will continue in several pockets, but the irrigation has to come. That only will bring the additional productivity now. Otherwise, from the crop improvement side, already the stagnation has almost reached. So this is the one, and it has come up very well. These are the pictures which you are seeing from the IRI only in the WTC field itself, the sorghum and pearl millet. I just would like to show. And this is for the basmati rice. This is the DSR, the direct seeded rice. How to save water within the rice crop. Even in tank-fed agriculture also, we need to see that from the demand side, how to reduce it. Everything is based on the budget. Reduce the expenditure side and supply side, ensure it. So these are the two things. So this is a different way how we can look at. This is the one, actually, this is a P. That is Paisam Satyam. You can call it as in Tamil, what you call as a matar, what you call in matar? Batani. So this is the one actually in between two pearl millet. In between two pearl millet, bajra, then with this particular matter and then bajra in a single year. So 3 crops, the farmer will get better return because he's spending some amount on the drip irrigation and all. So such type of models also we have worked out. This is the baby corn. Automation also, now it has come up very well, and you can customize it according to the condition in the tank-fed irrigation commands, depending upon, and this is the lining one, which is also very much required. The second one, which I talked like the rice crop, still it is under surface irrigation, maximum area. So for that, you can go for this automated surface irrigation system. So here what will happen, once the water will come to the nearer to the field, from the field channel, so the water will enter only when there is a requirement in the field. So that requirement will be decided by a sensor in the soil moisture sensor in the field, and the check gate will open. The moment it will open, the water will enter, and after some time, once saturation reaches, it will close down and it will stop. So these are some of the additional things which we are having Center for Protected Cultivation. There also the micro irrigation is being very well utilized. And in case of some of the waterlogged areas, somebody was also talking about the flood affected areas. There also where the tanks are there, your approach should be in combination with the water management technologies, which will suit to that particular coastal. In Tamil Nadu also, we have a lot of coastal area where tanks are there. So this is the one where we intervene with the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, very important scheme, where we have provided the index for that, because different fields will have different water level, submergence levels are different, the damage is different. The farmer will get according to the extent of damage, he will get accurately. The farmers were provided insurance for the Muzaffarpur district of Bihar. This insurance has been provided in Gaigat and Katra blocks for the 3 years from the government of India based on the index. Now, these are some of the schemes like Jal Shakti Abhiyan, which concentrate on the renovation of traditional and other water bodies. Now, government of India is giving a lot of focus on how to renovate these structures. And there, in case of tank also, how to converge with such type of scheme and make our efforts go on. The gentleman was talking about, how to take the advantage of this CSR fund. And similarly, from the government scheme, in a larger scale, the canvas is very big. So we need to address it in such a manner. And this PMKSY is getting a lot of, results, especially the area in which the rate at which the micro irrigation has, enhanced over the recent years is enormous. So per PDMC scheme, so we are providing technical support to it as a part of the National Steering Council. We are also providing capacity building to the different farmers. This is a look at some of the different type of micro irrigation, both the farmers and also to the Honorable Minister. The model which we are explaining is both for the micro irrigation automation and also surface irrigation automation. So these are the two things which I want to say. Now the role of DHAN, I would like to appreciate you, because I have seen, because we collaborated earlier also in one workshop with the WTC IRI. The way in which you are doing that, that reminds me of your inside from the heart you are doing. So this is the one which I have philosophically conceptualized. The water is a H2O, two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. So what I say, like one hydrogen atom, it represents the head portion, which we are speaking like technology, head portion with intelligence and all. The other one is the heart portion, the second hydrogen. That is very important. The sensitivity we should have for the water conservation and how much we are storing. That is very, with high efforts we are saving, and that needs to be utilized in the best manner through these technologies. That heart portion is very important, which I think you are contributing very well for that. And that's why I appreciate your efforts. And also thanks for giving an opportunity. This oxygen, it is nothing but making a balance between these two. Head is also required, heart is also required. If one is not there, you cannot meet the objective. So optimizing that one will be done by the oxygen. It will provide the fuel for it, and then only the things will be possible. And same thing I have just concluded here within my allotted time of 15 minutes. I hope I have done it. So how to judiciously we can use it with some of the technologies I just focused here, because time is limited and I need to follow it. So thank you very much, Gupta sir, and all.
Thank you so much, Brahmanand sir. Sir is known for his Guinness record of continuous 33 hours lecture. So he still holds his Guinness record. So that he proved in a short lecture. Thank you so much, sir. Very clear presentation.
He has 2 Guinness record to create.
Yes, sir.
The longest speech marathon and also fastest time to identify all elements of periodic table.
Sir, imagine 33 hours continuous lecture, sir. Now he himself break the record of 38 hours.
That I have done twice, but now it is broken. It should be broken. Our children should always be better than us. Human potential is immense. That we should believe.
Great, sir. Thank you so much, sir. With this, moving forward, now the next presentation is like Dr. Kanti Lal, Professor and Principal Scientist, WTC, on the topic of water quality management in command area of tank irrigation.
Dr. Kanti Lal is a professor and a principal scientist who is specializing in soil fertility, soil microbiology, and irrigation water quality. Now I request Dr. Kanti Lal to deliver this address.
So, Romba Nandri.
People from Andhra, Karnataka, Bihar.
తెలుగులో కూడా మాట్లాడదాం పేసలామా తమిళ్లో పేసలామా
కన్నడ బరుత్తా సార్
కన్నడ కొంచెం తమిళ్ కొంచెం தெரியும்
थोड़ा आता है सुबह से सुन रहा हूँ धीरे मेरे को आदत पड़ रहा है
उड़ीसा से भी है कोई अच्छा बढ़िया तो फ्लुएंटरी कही दे अपना उड़ीसा रे कोड रसले अच्छा कोरापुट रो बढ़िया कल कथा है जो कल हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट अपना आसीबे ना.
Yes, sir. Now we move forward on the presentation. Sorry for small technical delay.
ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ నుంచి ఎవరు వచ్చారు? ఎంతమంది వచ్చారు? తెలంగాణ నుంచి ఎంతమంది ఊరు వచ్చారా? నమస్తే.
రెడ్డి శ్రీనివాస
సంతోషం. ఏ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్? అచ్చా భద్రాద్రి. ఇద్దరు అక్కడి నుంచేనా? అచ్చా రంగారెడ్డి हैदराबाद
लेट हो रहा है
लंच आ गया है
कनेक्शन हो गया.
Yes, sir. Moving forward, sir. Thank you. Please.
Vayalagam is my good friend.
Respected
Chairman ICID.
R.K.Gupta ji, my project director Dr. Brahmanand, other delegates from DHAN, and my beloved partners. Now, in the previous presentations, we have learned about the water use efficiency as well as how to make the drinking water available in those areas where it is not available or the cost is very high. But for making a livelihood apart from the quantity or water use efficiency, quality of the water available is also important. We are receiving a lot of samples throughout the year regarding the determinants of the water quality. If the quality of the water is not good, definitely it is going to reduce the crop yields and ultimately the livelihood. So the topic allotted to me is that water quality management in command areas under tank irrigation. We know that only 2.8% of the net irrigated area is under tank irrigation. And tank irrigation is not a new thing. We have a mention of two tanks even in Mahabharata. That is a lake of 5 names in Maharashtra, Pampas Rover in Karnataka. Apart from that, in mentioning in the Mahabharata, there are age-old inscriptions, age-old as old as in 8th or 9th century. So tank irrigation is not a new one. At present, we are having more than 54,000 number of tanks, and the area irrigated with the tank irrigation is about 2.2 million hectares. And the percentage wise, it was 2.8 in 2024-25, and in 2023-24 is 3.81. So here the thing is that if we compare with the tube well or the canal irrigation, the area under irrigation with the tank irrigation is very small. But it is very important under the conditions when there is a water scarcity, there is a declining water table, and there is a rocky terrain. So in those conditions, it is a livelihood for the countless farmers from Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, where that other sources or canal for canal cultivation is not, are not there. Under that conditions, tank irrigation is very important. These are the different crops like paddy, maize, some of the pulses, millets, and some of the vegetables are being cultivated by using the tank irrigation. So the main topic is the quality of the tank irrigation. In general, I found that the quality of the tank irrigation is not that bad because it is containing only the rainwater that is coming through the field. So when coming to passing through the field, it may contain some kind of the salts dissolved in it, or some kind of the dumping from that urban areas or from the that is possible. That is causing the deterioration in the water quality. Here that slide is that about the water quality of the tanks in Tiruvallur, Tamil Nadu. The slides indicated that that major parameters for determining the water quality is CPH, like sodium adjustment and RST. These were almost in the normal range. Here that electrical conductivity was from slight to moderate, which indicates the presence of the salts. It indicates that if we just continue on the long-term basis without any treatment or when there is a lot of evaporation, the salts can deposit on the surface, and that may lead to salinity development. Here, that another important parameter which we are finding is the nitrogen content. The value of nitrogen content is say 30, even up to 32 milligram per liter. It is very high because the permissible limit is only 10 ppm or 10 milligram per liter. So it is 3 times more. So if we use this water for drinking purpose, it may cause methanoglobemia, or that is blue baby syndrome. So we have to check the quality of the irrigated water. This is another slide from Tamil Nadu. Here also it shows that the quality of the Kadamba tank is almost in a good range. There is no problem, but there is a seasonal variation. So the tank quality or the tank has to be monitored on the regular basis. water quality index to assess the surface water quality of the Shanky Tank and Mathathali Lake, Bangalore in urban areas. Here, if we analyze the samples with respect to salinity, it was in medium class. And if we with respect to sodium adsorption ratio, it was in first class. So overall, the quality of the water was almost very good. And the index was found to be 50 and 56, indicating a good quality of the tank irrigation. Then this is again from the Nadu, that is from Coimbatore. And here we are finding that the electrical conductivity, hardness, alkalinity, chloride, these were in the excess range. On analysis, it was found that main reason was the dumping by the people who are living nearby. Say more than 50% of the people living nearby are dumping their household garbage in the tanks. Then the industrial effluents from the textile industry is also being dumped in the different tanks, which is deteriorating the quality of the irrigation water. The remedial measure was suggested as the Pseudomonas. Sometimes some farmers are coming that quality of our water is this much, the electrical conductivity is this much. Here I want to show that even the good quality water, say in rice wheat cropping system, even the canal irrigation water is adding about 1500 kg of the salts per hectare per year. And if you talk in terms of that, when the EC or electrical conductivity is more than 5 decisiemens per meter, it is adding more than 38,000 kilogram of the salts per hectare per year. In some of the states, say Andhra, Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, MP, Rajasthan, up to 25 to 84% of the groundwater are either saline, high SR saline, or alkali. For assessing the salinity hazards, we deal mainly with the electrical conductivity. And for the sodicity hazards, we analyze the samples for the sodium adsorption ratio and residual sodium carbonate. These are important for the management point of view. So thank you. In general, that pH ranges from 7.2 to 8.5. When the pH is more than 8.5, it indicates the presence of the carbonates and high SR. High pH water has high RSC. And when the RSC is less than 4 decisiemens per meter and low EC, then it will have low SR also. But as the EC increases, RSC and SR also increases. Water with RSC is residual sodium carbonate. When it is more than 4, I suppose that it is of no use for the farmers. Sodicity means when we use such kind of water, it will lead to dispersal. Or that infiltration rate will be reduced. Similarly, when the electrical conductivity is more, there will be a deposition of the salts, or osmotic pressure of the soil solution will be increased, and the plants are not able to take up the water. This is the main. After getting the samples are classified in different categories. That is the good quality saline water or alkali water, because the management practices for saline and alkali are totally different. That is why these have been classified. This is the classification given by FAO. For finding the infiltration problem, we have to evaluate the combined effect of the electrical conductivity and SAR. One more thing, that if we differentiate between the classification given by the different agencies, our experience showed that sodic water, even having RSC 2.5 milliequivalent per liter, we do not recommend any addition of the gypsum, because in rice wheat cropping system, because when the puddled rice is taken, more than 2 milliequivalent per liter of the calcium is released from the weathering of the calcium carbonate, which neutralizes the carbonate and bicarbonates. So the negative impacts of the alkali waters are reduced. These are the harmful effects of the poor quality water. Means that when the water is saline or when the EC is more, it may cause a restricted water uptake, iron toxicity, nutritional disorder. When that water is alkali, the dominant anions are carbonate and bicarbonate of sodium. It will lead to dispersion, low infiltration rate, low permeability, and micronutrient deficiency. These are the management practices: suitable cropping system, salt tolerance varieties, appropriate agronomic practices, chemical amendments, and alternate flat yield. We have to analyze, we have to exploit the genetic differences between different crops to select the suitability. So on, we have to select those crops whose water requirement is low, say oil seeds compared to vegetables or sugarcane. Then biotechnological approaches we can exploit for this specific gene inclusion. These are the different crops for kharif like millet, sorghum, cluster beans, and so on. Okay. Different practices that if the water is available, the pre-sowing irrigation should be given by the good quality water, and 15 to 20% extra water for leaching. Shallow and frequent irrigation, seed rate should be little higher. Depending upon the electrical conductivity, we can decide whether we should give the pre-sowing irrigation or irrigation after sowing. Conjunctive is the best technology to deal with the saline or sodic water. It can be in the blending mode or in the cyclic mode. It has shown that if we go for the cyclic use, it is as good as the good quality water. Modern method of irrigation, say drip is always better than the surface irrigation or the sprinklers. Here, because if we use the sprinkler, the salts are directly deposited on the foliage and it will reduce the crop production. Different floriculture crops suitable for this line water. Different agroforestry model, barley with karonda, amla with cluster bean. Different the other crops like soya, castor, bale, bear, and this is another technology which is the Duru technology. We say it is subsurface water harvesting technology for skimming fresh water in the coastal areas. Sodic water, I don't think it's of use. In view of the paucity of the time, for the tank irrigation water management, we have to go for the rainwater harvesting, tank desilting and rejuvenation, monitoring the runoff for its quality, sluice gate management, conjunctive water use, canal supplies, at the sowing in saline groundwater irrigated areas, subsidies on gypsum or pyrite for the areas having alkali water, incentives for the micro irrigation system. Tank irrigation is largely suitable for irrigation, but site-specific issues such as salinity, nutrient, and carbonate effect of soil properties need to be monitored. Suitable tank irrigation depends on the maintaining good water quality through regular monitoring, pollution control, integrated soil water crop management practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So it's a well captured water quality, which we never seen in that angle, sir. Thank you so much for your presentation, sir. So now, by considering the time, we are moving forward for the next two farmers' presentation. I have legitimate right to ask them to respect the time. So with that so we are requesting now Bhima Reddy Garu. So Bhima Reddy Srinivasa Reddy Garu. So on his topic of transformation of paddy cultivation towards DSR method. So over to you, sir.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం అండి. నా పేరు శ్రీనివాస్ రెడ్డి, రాజాపురం విలేజ్, అనపరెడ్డిపల్లి మండలం, కొత్తగూడెం డిస్టిక్, తెలంగాణ నుంచి వచ్చాను. మా కుటుంబం వ్యవసాయ కుటుంబం. గత 30 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి కూడా నేను వ్యవసాయ ఫీల్డ్లోనే ఉన్నాను. నాకు మా కుటుంబం వచ్చేసరికి నాకు భార్య సత్యవతి, పిల్లలు 2 ఉన్నారు. ఆ పిల్లలు ఒకళ్ళు బీటెక్ పూర్తయింది, బాబు MBA పూర్తయింది. అదేవిధంగా నాకు వ్యవసాయ భూమి ఒక 10 ఎకరాలు ఉంది. ఆ 10 ఎకరాలలో వరి ఉంది ఒక 2 ఎకరాలు. మిగతా భూమి మామిడి, పామాయిల్ ఉంది. ఈ వరి పొలం వచ్చేసరికి పూర్తిగా వ్యవసాయదారం మీదనే ఉంది, మిగతాది నీటి వసతి ఉంది. అయితే మనం ఈ డాన్ ఫౌండేషన్ రాకముందు సాంప్రదాయ పద్ధతిలో ఈ వరి సాగు అనేది చేసేవాళ్ళం. అంటే ఎక్కువ నీళ్లు అవసరం ఉండేది. డాన్ ఫౌండేషన్ వాళ్ళు మా గ్రామంలో 2016 సంవత్సరంలో ఎంట్రీ అయ్యి వాళ్ళు KVK సైంటిస్టుల ద్వారా మా గ్రామంలో ఒక కార్యక్రమాన్ని చేపట్టి ఇది ఎలా చేసుకోవాలి, ఇది ఎలా చేసుకోవాలని చెప్పారు. ఫారం ఫండ్లు కానీ అప్పుడు ఒక సంఘాన్ని ఏర్పాటు చేసుకున్నాం. ఈ డాన్ ఫౌండేషన్ సహకారంతో రాజాపురం వైలక సంఘం అనే పేరుతోటి 42 మంది సభ్యులతోటి ఒక సంఘాన్ని మా గ్రామంలో ఏర్పాటు చేసుకొని దానికి అనుబంధంగా AFC గ్రూపులు కూడా కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకున్నాం. అంటే పొదుపు చేసుకోవడం, మళ్ళీ బ్యాంకులు పోయి లోన్లు తెచ్చుకోవడం, ఈ విధంగా అలా చేసుకునేవాళ్ళం. ఈ సాంప్రదాయ పద్ధతిలో చేసినప్పుడు నీళ్లు ఎక్కువ అవసరం ఉండేది. మామూలుగా ఈ మెట్ట కరివేద కానీ లేకపోతే డ్రమ్ సీడర్ కానీ తర్వాత ఫెర్టిలైజర్ అండ్ డైరెక్ట్ కార్యక్రమం ఇచ్చారు, రోటావేటర్, మన కల్టివేటర్ లాంటిది. దాంతో వేసినప్పుడు మనకి ఖర్చు తగ్గేది, కూలీల కొరత లేకుండా పోయింది. అదేవిధంగా మనకు దమ్ము ఖర్చు కూడా తగ్గింది, దిగుబడి కూడా పెరిగింది. కొంత సమయం కూడా ఆదాయం, అంటే కోత సమయాన్ని ఒక 15 రోజులు ముందుకి తీసుకురాగలిగాం. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ DSR పద్ధతి అవలంబించడం వలన మనకి నీటి వినియోగం అనేది చాలా తగ్గింది. అంటే సాంప్రదాయ పద్ధతిలో 2 ఎకరాలకు సరిపడే నీరు ఇక్కడ 5 ఎకరాలకు సరిపోయేది DSR చేసినప్పుడు. అలా 15 రోజులు తగ్గించగలిగాం. పంట కోత కూడా సుమారు 15 రోజులు ముందుగా వచ్చింది. దీనివల్ల కొంత ఆదాయం కూడా పెరిగింది రైతుకి. ఈ ప్రయోజనంతో పాటు దిగుబడి కూడా పెరగడం సాంప్రదాయం. రాజాపురం గ్రామంలో మొత్తం 3,000 ఎకరం ఉంది. అయితే ఈ DSR అవలంబించిన తర్వాత మొత్తం 75% ఇటు మన DSR లో కన్వర్ట్ అయ్యారు. ఎందుకంటే దిగుబడి పెరిగింది, దాంతోపాటు ఖర్చు కూడా తగ్గింది, నీటి వినియోగం కూడా తగ్గింది.
So I thank Venkatesan for this presentation. To have a short translation, he highlighted about the direct seeded rice method, which increase the which reduce the cost of the labor and reduce the soil erosion from them. And this is a support due to the multi-stakeholder collaboration like DHAN, KVK, and all other people are involved in this process. So now he is proudly saying 75% of the villagers are following the same method, so that the labor cost is drastically reduced. And he finally mentioned the highlight is like people institution is much important to any technology. So with that people institution only we can implement any technology. So with that I thank Srinivasa Garu for his presentation. Now moving forward further, I welcome Nagaraj CL, Board of Director, Kolar Vayalagam Federation Karnataka, on the topic of integration of traditional technologies, organic farming and results utilized.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಈ ದಿನ ವಿಶ್ವ ನೀರಿನ ದಿನ. ಈ ದಿನ ದೆಹಲಿ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೋಲಾರ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ವೈಲಗಂ ದಾನ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ಕಂಡು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಮಾತಾಡುವ ನನಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಈ ದಿನ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಥೇಚ್ಛವಾಗಿ ರಾಸಾಯನಿಕ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಕೀಟನಾಶಕ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಳೆನಾಶಕ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ನೋವಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕಾರಣ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರತಿ ಕುಟುಂಬನು ಏನ್ ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 50% ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹಣನ ಸುರಿತಾವೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿ ಹೊರಟೆ. ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಂಘ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ NGO ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಆಗ KVK ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಮ್ಮ ವೈಲಗಂ ದಾನ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾನು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆದ ಕಾರಣ ಅವರು ದಾನ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ನಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಕೊಟ್ರು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರಾಮದ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಂದು ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೆರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆ ಕೆರೆ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಜನರಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಆ ಕಂಪನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ರೈತರ ಒಂದು ವಂತಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ರೈತರ ಜಮೀನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಈಲ್ಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಮಾವಿನ ಗಿಡನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೋಲಾರ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ ಬರಗಾಲ ಇದೆ, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಗಿಡ ನೆಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ನಮ್ಮ NGO ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ಮಿ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ವರ್ಮಿ ಕಾಂಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನ್ ರೈತರು ಹಸು ಹೈನುಗಾರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೈನುಗಾರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು COF 31 ಹುಲ್ಲಿನ ಬೀಜ ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಹನಿ ನೀರಾವರಿ ಡ್ರಿಪ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗಿ ವೈಲಗಂ ದಾನ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ನಿಂದ ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ದೇಶೀಯ ಆಕಳ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದರಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಸಗಣಿ ಗಂಜಲ ಕ್ರೋಢೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡಿ ಜೀವಾಮೃತ ಪಂಚಗವ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಬೆಳೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಆ ಬೆಳೆಗೆ ಸಿಂಪಡಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕೀಟನಾಶಕ ಉಳಿಸಬಹುದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಉಳಿಸಬಹುದು, ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಪರಿಸರನ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ತರಬಹುದು, ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಇವತ್ತು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹೊರೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹೊರೆ ಇಳಿಸಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಡೀ ದೇಶಾದ್ಯಂತ ಇವತ್ತು ಏನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಗ್ರಾಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಸಹ BRC ಮಾಡಿ ನೈಸರ್ಗಿಕ ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ನೈಸರ್ಗಿಕ ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಹೊರೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ವೈಲಗಂ ದಾನ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿ ನನಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದಿಸಿ ನಾನು ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ.
Mr. Nagaraj CL farmer, he explained about the chemical farming led to declining soil fertility, high cost and water constraints in the region. So that he shifted to organic farming through training and adopted traditional practices like Jivamridam Panchagavya. Like that he prepared himself and in his village. And with support from Vayalagam institutions, he strengthened farmer training and knowledge sharing. As a result, soil health improved, cost reduced, and farmers achieved stable incomes. He has trained about 1,000 farmers in his area, and it shows that people institutions help scale traditional knowledge into sustainable farming systems. This is what he has shared so far.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, Andy. So with this, like we had a morning onwards, we have a series of lecture. With this, I like to invite Mr. Krishnan Jindal, Program Advisor for DHAN Foundation, to lead us on the way forward.
Yeah. Mr. Krishnan Jindal is the former Chief General Manager of NABARD, brings extensive expertise in rural finance, watershed development, and institutional strengthening. As Program Advisor at DHAN Foundation, he guides strategic initiatives that integrate financial systems with community-led natural resource management. So now I request Mr. Jindal sir to share his special address.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. The focus of this session was on, as you all know, it was on community-led water governance. Indian experience, which was through DHAN Foundation, the sharing experience of DHAN Foundation. So DHAN Foundation is a development conglomerate working across various sectors. And through this Kalanjiam Tank Foundation or DHAN Tank Foundation, they are working on water sector from the last 25 years. And more than 7,000 tanks and other ponds have been renovated by DHAN Tank Foundation. So various presentation, some of the on the topic on community-led water governance, it was felt it is very, very crucial. So some of the things which have led to community-led water governance by Tank Foundation, some of the factors which have played very important role, which came from various speakers, the institutional framework which has been created across the organization at the tank level and at various hierarchical levels, it has played very important role. And then involvement of community right from planning stage to implementation stage, and even after the implementation. Then contribution by the community in cash and kind in the project, and also the contribution by the community in maintenance of the projects. Such factors have played these are the basic principles on which DHAN Tank Foundation has been working from the last 25 years. And some factors, as we know, which have promoted this, which have facilitated this. One of the important factors is the private sector participation. Two of our partners, Axis Bank Foundation and Rettington Foundation, they shared their experience. The second is that without we need organizations like DHAN Foundation or DHAN Vayalagam Foundation who can promote, because this is, as even the director WTC was saying, your head and heart both need to be involved in this. And third was that the community ownership, community enlightenment, and the time and the efforts which voluntarily they are putting in managing the common resources. So those factors have played very important role. So as we see that the community-led water governance has led to sustainable water management, which is a very key challenge. And sustainable water management is very, very crucial for, as various presentation has made, very crucial for climate resilient agriculture, is very crucial for water food security, and it's very crucial for increasing the income of the farmers. So naturally there is a huge demand for this kind of initiative, which is leading to, which is very crucial at the present juncture. There is a huge demand. So how do we meet this demand from other regions, from other countries across the globe? How do we meet this demand? I think the lesson which emerges that of course, private sector has played a catalytic role there, maybe much larger participation by the private sector in such initiatives. And in addition to that, not only private sector, I think it also came during presentation, there should be multi-stakeholder participation, which is already there, that is to be augmented by the state government, by the central government, by donors, by bilateral and multilateral agencies. So this has to become a multi-stakeholder. People should come on the board for this. And then how do we motivate more and more NGOs to come to this sector and do their capacity building, do their motivation? So because they have an important role. You see, across the even within India, the spread of such institution is not very even. So how do we promote them? That is another thing to take it forward. And also the academia and research bodies, they have a huge role, because such experiences, they need to be documented, they need to be disseminated, they need to be debated, and also suitable products should be designed for different regions and different areas. So the Indian experience now, we are going to follow it up with the global experience in the afternoon session. I'm sure that such experiences have a global scope for global replicability across various countries. I think in the afternoon session, which is on global experiences, we'll pool it and see how do we globally we can take it forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Very concrete way forward came up. So with this, we are closing the morning session, and we will meet you back at 2:30 which is an Indian Standard Time, on the second session, which is on global context. Whatever we spoke is an Indian context. Thank you so much. Thank you one and all who are all attended in the online session. So now I will formally like to close with the memento, which is our farmers tradition, which like to say. So I will invite our Bihar farmer to give a memento to our Secretary General to share the memento. Praveen, facilitate. I welcome Niranjan, farmer from Bihar, to give a memento to the Secretary General. Very active farmer, sir. He is well known for his irrigation and drainage, which happened in Bihar, sir.
Sir, one more, sir, please.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So now I will like to invite Radhu and Lalita Garu from Orissa, tribal millets fisherwomen, millets women farmers. So I like to invite Saran sir to receive our memento from them, sir. Please, please, sir. No, that's their request, sir. They said like they want. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So, no. So now I will welcome Krishna Reddy from Telangana to hand over the memento to Rishi sir. Sir, please, sir. Sir, please. Yeah. No, sir, that is their request, sir. Sorry, sir.
Please, one photo उसमें कैमरे में.
Yes, sir.
इधर से आ जाइए नहीं.
Memento to our madam from IWP, Veena ma'am, to receive the memento. They are a long-term partner with Dan. Yeah, so we like to.
Even
Uma is the trustee. Yeah.
We have a very good project from 2014 to 17.
Great.
For Vayalagam tank restoration.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Bhaskaran sir. With this, we are formally close this session, and we will meet you back at 2:30 Indian Standard Time. Thank you so much. Thank you, people who are all joining the online. We will see you back in 2:30.
We'll take a group photo. I think let's